So beautiful.
The lady Bigfoot.
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer. Amos chapter 2, verses 9 through 10. Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit above and his roots beneath. Also it was I who brought you up from the land of Egypt, and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite. Amos chapter 2, verses 9 through 10. We pray. Father, we thank you for all the warnings that you give us in the Bible about the giants and the other monstrosities that were not meant to be created. We're not created by you. We thank you for the ways that you teach us to resist them and every kind of giant in our lives. We love you, Lord. We thank you for your hand over this broadcast. We thank you for your hand over this channel. We thank you for the blessings of the people that join us here each time. We pray that only those with eyes to see and ears to hear will join us here, and that you'll protect us from every other kind of person. And we love you, Lord, and we thank you for another good day. In Jesus' name, the name of Yeshua, amen.
Amen. Amen.
I am Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. And we have 4 Facebook pages: the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas; the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Sun Center and Database; the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path page; and the Lead Tracker E page, which is almost to 1,600, so thank you for that. The channel that used to be called
Lead Tracker E.
Yeah, the Lead Tracker E channel. What's my name? It's now called Bigfoot Predators and Spiritual Warfare. And so thank you for the numbers are coming up on that one too. We thank you for that. And this channel is now called the Sasquatch Choctaw Tracking Channel. And so and it's only 4 away from being at 2,000.
2,000.
Being at 2,000. So if
2,000 informed
well-informed
people.
So if you haven't subbed, we would sure appreciate it and get us over that hump. We get so close. I think we got this close once or twice before, and then it goes right back down. Let's see if we can get us over that hump today.
Okay. One of our books that's out on Amazon is The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. Very important book, packed full of knowledge, and I'll be just oh, that one froze, but oh, okay.
One person recently said that he calls it his manual.
A lot of people have considered it their manual. But one of the new people who had ordered the deluxe package, which is no longer available, got his books and a DVD, and it reminded him of things that happened in the past, even when he was hunting. Now looking back, he realizes that he was in situations and there was Bigfoot sign all around him. He just didn't know what he was looking at that time. But now with the book, with his manual, he's remembering a lot. Hopefully we can get to talk to him after he finishes the book and after he watches the DVD completely. We also have that book written in Spanish. I don't know if we got
Right
one
there,
over there.
right here beside you,
Right.
in the bag.
So the Spanish version book is, which some good friends helped us to write, is titled Pa Grande el Depredador y el Sendero del Guerrero Espiritual. And that is the new Spanish version book. I wish actually, give me 1 second.
Actually,
Let me, someone else is saying actually.
I wonder where that sound came from a minute ago.
Let me,
Give us just a second. We're running a little bit late today.
yeah, but good late.
Good late.
Let me fix this real fast because
Graybeard, if you're in here, if you wouldn't mind, would you write that verse out, please? That has been your assigned duty, Graybeard. We appreciate it.
how in the world did I get assigned?
Only because he has voluntarily put it up so many times, so now he trapped himself.
Uh-oh. See what volunteering does? And we do tell everyone on the tracking team, do not volunteer.
In the military, they say, I need a volunteer.
Need a volunteer. We say no.
You turn the volume down on that.
I just had it on Facebook for some reason. Where is this picture? What I'm going to do, I'm going to...
Well, give us just a second.
If I can't get it one way, I'm going to do it another way. And it's good to know everyone's here tonight. We'll get started in just a minute. But we wanted to show this photo.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully Judy got hers too.
Yes, Judy. Let us know if you got your book or books. I'm sorry, books and DVD, which was a gift
From one of our
from
viewers
another friend. We should say,
who wishes to remain anonymous.
who wishes to remain anonymous at this time. But give us 1 second. So it's going to take now.
And this is a picture of
And so
a very sweet friend of ours.
this book here, as soon as because we was waiting on, I think we was waiting on a new book.
Yeah.
Or no, we was waiting on the new book, this new Spanish version, Las Ofrendas de Pa Grande, the Spanish version book of Bigfoot gifters. These books are very important, and once the Spanish version book came in, one of our friends sent us his picture today, this morning, letting us know that he has his books and he is reading them and he is gaining knowledge and information that he has never had before. Neither has the people in his area. So he's going to be the
teacher there.
The teacher there now.
Yeah.
And he said they have missing people and no one can pinpoint where they're going, but he does know now, from being with the channel for a while, of the structures and the blinds and the hides, the bridges and things like that. And he is in Argentina, I believe.
That's what I was thinking.
Argentina.
Yeah.
And people are not sharing the information that these predators are worldwide. They're everywhere.
And he says many young people are missing.
Yeah. And adult people are missing. But he is doing his studying. He's got his books. He's going to be a very important, he is an important person, but now with this information, he's going to be able to teach people in his village what to look for, to travel together, be observant, and also that these things can have that translucent look.
And we thank him very much. He's always been very supportive, very encouraging, and doing his best, even with the language barrier, to just encourage us and be a friend to us.
Yeah.
And to learn.
Carlos Alberto Barón. Very
Thank
good
you,
person.
Carlos.
Very good person. We're glad he's got his books, and we're glad he's who he is.
Yeah.
Because he is going to take this information and help people.
Yeah.
He's not going to waste the information. We're so happy about that.
He already tries to help and warn people even before he got the books. Instead of trying to help.
Yeah, so that is the new Spanish version book of The Predator, Bigfoot, and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. And we also got one more to deliver from our friend who gifted Judy a package. She also asked us to give another one to another person, I think before she got Judy's.
We have someone in mind.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking to them very soon, and they're going to be very happy about that package. Yeah. Where are we at? We are, again, this is also the new the Bigfoot Gifters book in Spanish. It's Las Ofrendas de Pa Grande, the offering, the Bigfoot offerings. In English, it's the Bigfoot Gifters. Very.
I like both titles.
Me too. There are. We still got a little bit more to go. Our new webpage, you can find this information there, and we're gonna have to add these books. I don't know if they're all on there.
I think she's added the Bigfoot Gifter ones, but probably not had time yet to do the other.
Okay, and we gotta get some books in also, and so you can go to predatorbigfoot.com and get to the Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warriors webpage. That webpage has playlists on it where you can get these books, the DVD, which by itself it's $55, and these books, if you'd like to have an autographed book from us, these are $25 plus $5 shipping and handling, or the Spanish version. The new Bigfoot Gifters book is $20 plus $5 shipping and handling. They're the same price as you'll find them on Amazon. And our new book, Monster Spotters. This book is hitting the cryptid community. Just started hitting it about 2 days ago.
We guarantee you there is no other children's book like this. There are some with similar titles, but look for that cover and our names.
There is no other book like this in the world that will be able to help you teach your children, or even if you just want to give it to the child, because they're going to start sharing it. They're going to start saying, have you seen this and seen this and seen this? And there's going to be some eye-opening conversations, because I'm sure that these children have seen more than the parents, because the predators love to try to get at some kind of communication with the children to lure them out. So,
and it warns them of different kinds of predators too,
and different kinds of traps.
And if you'll watch the video we did the other night, the live stream we did the other night, it's got that cover on it. There are some sneak peeks into the book in there.
Oh,
Tell more about it.
yeah. There's some sneak peeks.
And we already got our first review, and it's 5 stars, so we're very happy about that and thankful for it.
The only reason we had bad reviews with the other books is because I think there was 2 and 1 on the Bigfoot gifters, but we know who that was, and we know who
both
you,
of them were.
we know who you are. And yeah, in the Purge Bigfoot Spiritual Warriors Path, we know who you are. We know what you did.
One burned the book.
One burned the book, and the other one complains about it's not being a. They didn't complain about the information. They complained about it being a small book, which is it is, but it's got information in there.
The Bigfoot gifters
that's never been put out there,
yeah.
And it's the correct information. And you won't find that information anywhere else. You're going to find people at those conferences saying, "Go gift them." But if you read this book, you're going to know why.
But the person still puts out the information that we taught them.
And kind of making it kind of sound like it's their information. Like they come up with it. And
there's one in every bunch.
we find them everywhere.
But all the rest of the reviews are fantastic. So
I got to change this.
We're grateful.
I got to change this real fast.
Adding some information to description real quick.
Okay. There's a couple ways to support us and help us out, and I think our camera's kind of crooked. Isn't it? Let me try to straighten it a little bit more.
That little green thing?
No, I think it's more on this side. Where's that green thing?
Oh, you see this?
Are we straight?
The stack is things.
Where is it? Is that kind of straight?
I don't think it's that bad. It helps with the bows behind us.
Yeah, because it makes it look straight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's.
We'll know when we turn the TV on.
I think that'll work.
Okay.
Let's see, where were we? A couple ways to support the channel. We do appreciate your support. As you've gotten us to places that we knew that we really couldn't have, and we helped some other people, and we got a couple more places to go to. Things are ramping up again, especially in the springtime.
Yeah.
The food sources are very low or depleted in many places, so these things are starting to get even closer to people. So we've got some reports, and we're going to go and help some people. We're going to do some tracking, let them know where they're coming in, where they're, but you know, they're telling us these things are coming in every night. So, but we can only help them if they let us help them, you know, do the deterrence and those situations. But if they just want to stay locked up and hidden in their house and
prisoners in their own home.
We can't do anything about that.
But we can document to let them know they're not crazy.
Yeah, and let them know that you do have, and yeah, I mean, the pictures that they've been sending us, they know what they're seeing.
And they can just get it off their chest and talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, just have somebody to talk to if that's all that they need done right now. But so we're going to be going, and hopefully, I don't think we're going to do any lives because there's so much distortion.
Yeah, not in the woods. Yeah.
It's not, and we want you to see what's going on, so we're going to record everything and then come back and put it into a video form. And then
I was thinking about that the other day, that maybe we could try a live, but also record in that way. If the live was too glitchy, they could watch with the GoPro.
Still got it back.
Later, we've got a video.
Okay. So we may be going live, and we'll let people know. You may only get an hour's notice because we really don't announce where we're at, but boom, when you see it. So make sure you check your subscriptions.
Yeah.
Make sure you're still subscribed, because sometimes YouTube will kick you out. So check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed, because we're going to have to go back into the field to help some people. We thought we was past the field work, but people still need help. So here we go again. So
Plus, we love tracking.
I mean, we track. I mean, we do our tracking, but it's other people.
We're just trying to stay here around here and take care of things here more.
Yeah, because we've been neglecting help. I mean, while we were going out and helping everybody else, we neglect things here.
Yeah, we got to push back here, and we want the garden to grow.
Yeah, and we're doing some things here too. So, but we're going to be helping some people pretty soon. We're not giving any dates to anybody. Just know that if you get a notification, we may be going live right then.
We'll do our best. If it's glitchy, we can't tell. When we're on it, it looks perfect to us through the phone. But when we get back later, we're like, I can't believe they watched that whole thing.
And we're glad y'all stay in there and hang in there with us.
We sure do.
Because we do get into some things, and y'all see things that better than because of the camera.
Yeah, you can watch behind us and things like that. Yeah.
So a couple of ways to help support and keep our support going is you can become a Patreon member, and you do get updates more than people here at the regular channel. But also there's Cash App and PayPal. That helps out a lot because it's real direct and just quick. But also we have Super Chat and Super Sticker.
And hitting like and subbing and sharing are huge ways to help the channel.
Am I taller than you, or are you just lower?
You're sitting
than
on
well, I'm sitting
pillow,
on two pillows.
one extra pillow.
It's more comfortable. So I looked at the camera.
I put the pillows behind my back, and he puts them under him.
And I could lower it, but it didn't show more of, I don't know. But I can see you on this one. It's like
I look petite.
She does. She looks like she's.
I don't often look petite.
Also, monitors. We have monitors on duty, so
no trolling.
No trolling, and we just have to say if you're here for that, our monitors know what to do, and you may get one sentence out, so make it count.
And we may.
But they're going to delete that.
But do you really want to reveal yourself?
Yeah, but they're going to delete that sentence or whatever it is, and you. It's better just to listen and learn. We're sharing correct information. We're here to help.
That sounds really ominous. They will delete you.
They will delete you. Okay, so besides that, let's have a great time watching Wednesday, one of our favorite times.
It is. It really is.
And monitors know that we can be a little bit more relaxed.
As long as we're talking about the subject at hand.
Yeah, don't be talking about other conversations or that you went tracking yesterday.
But if you have experiences you want to share, you can come back after the live stream ends and the video of it goes up, and you can tell your story in the comments. We love that kind of engagement. Just in the chat, it's distracting. And
also the description is in, or the information is in the description below. So if you have a encounter or something, go ahead.
We have our BS bell and our pointer sticks from our mini blinds.
From our mini blinds.
So we are ready. But if we'll have a lot of bell tonight, but not a lot of pointer.
I don't know if we'll have a lot of bell because we're going to do a lot of correcting. Maybe we'll just bring it on the corrections.
Okay.
As soon as you hear something that needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be a lot of information tonight.
Well, you haven't seen any of it.
I mean, you told me a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So. But there's going to be a lot of information tonight that
is wrong.
If you got this book, you're going to know what they're saying is wrong, or you're going to know what page that we're talking about that would have helped this person.
Even though she appears to be a sweet, beautiful lady, she's misguided, duped.
And that means dangerous to other people.
Yeah.
So let's go to and see who's all here.
Yep.
Say hello, and then we're going to get started tonight, and we're going to have a great time.
Tracker 17.
Tracker 17 is very first. He said Australia is in the room.
He slid in right before Tracker Lorna.
He said, "Howdy to Lead Horse Choctaw," or Jerry Choctaw Lead Horse Williams, Lead Tracker A, or I think it was Lead Tracker E. Friends, Trackers, Warriors, Australia is in the room.
Tracker Lorna says hi, Lead Tracker E and Jerry Williams.
Hello, Lorna. Tracker Lorna.
Shadow Tracker J says blessings, Lead Tracker E and Jerry.
Blessings to you, Shadow Tracker J. Everybody saying hello to each other right there. To Lorna, to 17, and Shadow Tracker, and War
There's War
Chief.
Chief says Hallie Toe, Ocio, and Ola. Jerry, Lead Horse Choctaw Williams, Lead Tracker E, all warriors and Shadow Trackers and friends.
All right.
Good to see you, War Chief.
Tracker Lorna saying hello to War Chief, and War Chief is saying it's good to see y'all. It's good to see y'all. And Shadow Tracker J saying hello to War Chief and
Blessings.
returning that back to Shadow Tracker J. And
Jody says
Jody.
Tracker 17, Tracker Lorna, Shadow Tracker J, and War Chief Tracker C. Good evening to you, and good evening to LTE and Team Leader Jerry and all the Tracker friends, Trackers friends and warriors. You did good there, Jody.
yeah,
I
Tracker.
can't. You notice mine's short. And, welcome everyone.
Yeah. Tracker
Okay.
Lorna saying hi to Jody. Shadow Tracker J is saying hi to Lorna.
Jody says, thank you, Shadow Tracker J. They're always so welcome, and blessings to you. War Chief is saying Hallie Toe, and good to see you to Jody. And he says, I just wonder how many times we're going to hear the bell go off tonight. That's right.
It might be quite a
There'll
few.
be a few. Quite a bit written down. Shadow Tracker J says, LOL, War Chief Tracker C, probably a lot.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I get caught up in it and I forget to ring the bell, but
yeah, there's been a lot of times we should have been ringing that bell all that time.
War Chief says, and also blessings to us all. Thank you, Father God. Amen. Amen to that.
Amen from Lorna. Amen from Shadow Tracker J.
There's
Danette.
Danette.
All right.
How you doing?
War Chief is saying hello to Danette. Shadow Tracker J is saying hello to Danette.
Graybeard is
Graybeard.
here.
All right,
Saying
Graybeard.
good evening.
I was going to say, you know what we talk about, Graybeard?
No, we're not going to bug him anymore.
Everybody's saying hello, or Tracker Lorna saying hello to Danette. She's saying hello to Graybeard. Shadow Tracker J saying hello to Graybeard. Graybeard saying hello to Lorna. War Chief is saying hello to Graybeard. And Graybeard is saying blessings to all, or to you as well, Shadow Tracker J. He's also saying hello, or to War Chief, good to see you. And War Chief is saying, yes, good to see you too.
War Chief says, Warrior Tracker 17, where is you? And if you is there, Hallie Toe.
Yeah, where is he?
Graybeard says, prayers from Shreveport to Detroit. Long line of storms going on. Tracker Lorna says, prayers to all. And Graybeard says, Barb Shupe. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Seems like a real sweet lady.
That's the first time I've heard. But they all seem nice and everything, and they always
all but one so far.
Yeah, and they always have the wrong information, which is going to hurt somebody else.
That just makes them even more vulnerable. Shadow Tracker J says, yes, Graybeard, we are in evil times for sure. Graybeard says, don't forget to hit that thumbs up.
Look at War Chief.
Thank you, Graybeard. War Chief says, well, I'm going to have some coffee and pecan sandy cookies for this production. Oh, that sounds good.
Does.
Tracker Lorna says, yum, nice.
We're on diet, so yes, that sounds good.
That's me welcoming everyone.
Oh, there we go.
From the new channel name. Graybeard says, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
War Chief says, I've been sharpening my tomahawk most of the day, so just to look at it may
Oh, good, good.
Tracker Lorna says, hi, Lead Tracker E. JR, how you doing? Says, Wednesday Rumble.
JR says, good evening, all. JR is here.
Graybeard and Tracker Lorna are saying hello to JR. Tracker 17
There's
says, there he
17.
is. Just came back from a successful track. Good.
All right.
And also Tracker 17 has a YouTube channel now too.
Yeah, if you put that link up, we'll post it.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, JR. Let's get ready to rumble.
There we go.
Graybeard says, Cube, good to see you. Tracker 17 says, Halito War Chief, great to see you. Tracker 17 says, Graybeard, yay. This is always just the nicest, most positive group of people.
I
Tracker
know.
17 says, Tracker Lorna, good to see you. Tracker 17 says, Shadow Tracker J, blessings. Graybeard says, Amos 2:9, yet destroyed I the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit from above, and his roots from beneath. Thank you, Graybeard.
That's right.
War Chief Tracker C says amen, as does Shadow Tracker J. Tracker 17 is saying Halito to Danette.
Oh, what is this one?
Graybeard, the second verse was Amos 2:10. Also, I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite.
Mm-hmm.
And the Amorites were giants. Tracker Lorna says amen. Tracker 17 says, hey, Jody. Tracker 17 says amen. Shadow Tracker J says, thank you, Graybeard. Tracker 17,
right.
Thank you very much for the super sticker.
Yeah,
Tracker
thank you
17,
very
we sure
much.
appreciate you. Graybeard says 17 for the goal.
For the goal.
Shadow Tracker J says, thank you, Tracker 17. Yeah, it's always so supportive in so many ways. Tracker 17 says, goal, LOLOL at Graybeard. Graybeard says, not even able to blame autocorrect. It was my fat fingers. It works. War Chief says, thank you, 17. And Judy Wheeler, there she is. She says, I'm here keeping my eye on these tornadoes. Our community of Bay has been leveled. Just got the news. Blessings to everybody. Rebuke those tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our verses for the night. Tracker 17 says, hey, Judy Wheeler, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Graybeard says hello to Judy.
And Judy says,
I received my books yesterday. Thank you so very much. Send us pictures of you with it.
Send us pictures.
And let us know what you think, Judy.
Yeah.
Good. You'll have something to do if the lights go out, as long as you got a flashlight.
Or a candle.
Yeah, Graybeard says, prayers for your area, Judy.
Look who's here.
Lyrical Jazzy says, hey, just wanted to pop in and say hi. Me and Mom are watching on the TV. Good.
Oh, all right.
Thank you for letting us know. Shadow Tracker J says, oh, Judy, we'll keep that in prayer. Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Judy Wheeler says, hi, Tracker 17. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Lyrical Jazzy. Graybeard says, hello, Lyrical Jazzy. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Judy Wheeler. Graybeard says, and Mom.
Yeah.
Lyrical Jazzy and Mom. Judy Wheeler says, hi, Graybeard.
Here comes War Chief.
War Chief says, Judy, how you doing tonight? Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Lyrical Jazzy.
Lyrical.
Judy Wheeler says, hello, Tracker Lorna.
And here's the link for the Monster Spotters.
Thank you, Tracker 17.
Link. Thank you very much for posting that. We appreciate that very much.
And that's available on Amazon for $20. Tracker 17. Oh, wait. Judy says, War Chief, hello. I'm doing well. Thank you. Good. She's feeling better.
Good.
Tracker 17 says, please like and share on your social media.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Judy Wheeler says, Shadow Tracker J and waves. Tracker 17 says, Lyrical Jazzy. Hey, hello.
Can we show that, you think?
Show what?
Oh, I already took it off.
Did you? Oh, he was going to. I just saw it. I thought I just saw it. That second one right under the title?
Up here?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. No, I better not. I wouldn't think on here.
Okay.
Okay.
Lyrical Jazz.
Judy says, yes, thank you so very much. And I love the bookmarker. Oh, good, good. Lorna made that. Tracker Lorna made that.
So it's getting, Lorna, your work is getting everywhere.
And Judy says, knowledge. Good.
Oh, look at War Chief.
War Chief, thank you so much. She says, blessings, my friends, and sent a very generous support. Thank you.
Oh,
War
wow.
Chief.
I thought that said $9.99. Wow. Thank you, War
Chief.
Chief. Wow. Thank
Very
you so
much.
much. It helps a lot.
There's Deborah Wheeler saying,
Deborah
hello, my
Wheeler.
friends.
Deborah Wheeler.
What did I say, Wheeler?
You said Judy Wheeler all night.
Judy's name. Deborah Mueller. How you doing, Deborah?
And thanks to Deborah, we're gonna have a commercial-free view tonight.
She made us part of her family.
Sure did.
Tracker 17 says, War Chief Tracker C, thank you. Graybeard says, good deed, War Chief. Very.
Yes, thank you.
Tracker 17 says, Helly Toad, Deborah Mueller. Deborah's making sure you know she's saying hello to all the friends in here.
Mm-hmm.
Graybeard says, hello, Deborah Mueller. Judy says, War Chief, awesome. Tracker Lorna says, thank you, War Chief Tracker C. Shadow Tracker J says, wow, War Chief, thank you. We agree.
We agree.
War Chief says, halito, Deborah. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Deborah.
Well, everybody's saying hello
Hi
to Deborah.
Yeah. Blessings, Deborah from Shadow Tracker J. Judy Wheeler says, blessings, everyone. And hi, Tracker Lorna. And she says, hello, Deborah. And
she loves the books.
And books. And there's Truth Walker.
Where's Truth Walker? There's Truth Walker. Look, everybody's so happy to see each other.
Lorna's telling her hi. Shadow Tracker J's blessing her. War Chief is saying halito. Judy's saying hi.
Well, she just come in.
Truth Walkers.
You just walk in, hey, everybody, the whole crowd goes, hey.
Graybeard, Tracker Lorna, Shadow Tracker J, and War Chief and Judy. Truth Walker's trying to get all the names in there.
Yeah.
And 17 says, hey, Truth Walker. Tracker 17 says, burned the book after buying it. Smart, not LOL.
I know, and there's so much information. They would have to buy the book again to have the information. I don't understand.
True.
But
they got it out of their system.
Yeah.
Tracker 17 says, hey. And
hey.
Sovereign, haven't heard this name in a little while. Sovereign Cosmic Wild Man says, true, there's lots of fraudulent people in this field that act like they thought of certain information when in reality they demonically copy and mimic.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. How you doing, Sovereign? Judy Wheeler says, hi, Cosmic.
So Sovereign saying, yo, Judy.
Yo, Judy. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Sovereign Cosmic Wild Man. Graybeard's telling Sovereign hi. Halito SCW from War Chief. Sovereign Cosmic says, yo, Tracker Lorna, Graybeard, and War Chief Tracker C. Shadow Tracker J is sending blessings. 17 is saying halito. The Sovereign Wild Man says Shadow Tracker J, and we're saying the names back, and my tongue's getting everybody's greeting everyone. And
Judy saying hello to JR. She's also saying to Lee Tracker E and Jerry Williams. Tracker 17 says battle axe, tomahawks, mace, swords, spears, and hammers ready to strike.
Good.
Deborah said the doo-doo sticks. And JR says, hi, Judy. Speak to the storm. Peace be still.
That's right.
There you go. Let that storm know.
And then go to bed after the show.
Yeah, and just sleep in peace.
Tracker 17 says, oh, typo alert. That should have read Lee Tracker E, far out. We know. Judy says, thank you, JR. And hi, Danette. Cosmic Wildman says, I've been meant to ask y'all about the two arched wood pieces behind you. I noticed the Sasquatch at times use arch symbolism in their structures and other areas. Yes, these are two samples we use to teach.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if you have our book, we do talk about bows and structures and blinds and
Tracker 17 says, War Chief Tracker C, come back from a successful track, got lots of useful footage and Bigfoot around me, sneaked away after I rebuked them. Good. It'll be a good tracker meeting.
Sure will be.
17 says, link to my YouTube channel, his YouTube channel.
And we're going to leave that up just a second.
So you can screenshot it or grab that link and sub real quick. Oh, Judy says she
That was
sent,
the YouTube channel,
Judy
Okay.
says she sent pictures.
huh? Oh, do you mind if we put it up real fast? I mean,
She won't care. She loves showing that smile.
yeah, she does.
You got a great smile, Judy.
Is that to mine or to yours?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna go look.
If you could send me. Oh, there's Judy.
We're gonna go look for Judy's pictures real quick so we can share them.
Give us just a second. Actually, oh, she sent a storm video.
Oh, that's what she sent pictures of? Okay, yeah, they're not in.
Oh,
Did you get it?
yeah, but I don't know if we can.
Pictures of the storm. Oh, video.
Well, it's not bad yet. That's.
Yeah. We have faith that it's gonna be absolutely fine.
And Jody Albrecht.
Says Graybeard, Jazzy, Danette, and Judy.
Oh, one of our candidates just sent in their homework. And Jody, would you happen to have that bridge that you sent in for the homework? Because they're doing their bridge homework right now. I'm not sure where I put it. And I know I downloaded so many things that I'd have to go through every one of those downloads to find it. If you don't have it, that's okay too. But it'd be a little easier if you did have it.
Tracker 17 says, hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
Graybeard says, hi, Jody Albrecht. Judy says, I love the matchstick, juniper branch, and rope string. Great message, Shadow. And Judy's talking about the way that the DVD is wrapped. We put the, we'll show you. We got a cedar and a matchstick in our card, and when this unfolds, it's a illustration that they can reuse if they iron it. Cosmic Wildman says, I totally agree with the title of this stream. I've always viewed it the same, never agreed with Shupe's approach and overall dangerous message. Oh, wow. So other people have heard of her too. We haven't
We just came
heard of her. Yeah.
found her
We were
today.
just looking for one for the Watching Wednesday.
And there she was.
Bob Shadow Tracker 888 says, good evening. Oh no, Barb Shupe giving advice. Oh no,
Oh,
y'all have heard of her.
Everybody knows her. We don't.
Graybeard says, hello, Bob. We're in our own little world. Tracker Lorna says, hi, Bob, Shadow Tracker 888. Judy says, hello, Bob. Shadow Tracker J sends blessings to Bob. Jody says, hi to Truthwalker Bob and Cosmic. Cosmic sub to 17. Good, thank you.
Oh, good.
Tracker 17 is telling him hello. Judy says, yes, and you can share.
Okay. I think it was a video. I didn't see any photos.
War Chief says, Halito, Bob, Shadow Tracker 888.
I thought you sending photos of the books that you got.
17. Yeah, we want you to focus only on the good stuff and forget the storm.
Yeah, forget
that storm
that
is not for you.
Yeah.
Tracker 17 says, Halito, Shadow Tracker 888. And Cosmic Wildman says, Jody, just noticed you said hi. Yo. All right, let's get to it.
All right. So,
since half y'all know, Dupe-A-Dupe.
yeah, y'all know this Shupe. We don't know the. But I was doing some other things, and Lee Tracker E was saying, this person is or saying things that are happening, and it's all in the book. But she doesn't know what she's talking about, and
Giving bad advice.
giving bad advice, and this is going to get people hurt out there if they try to do the same thing. So
War Chief says, "Oh boy, here we go." Let me hit the lights.
Okay, let me back this up. We're going to turn the camera around, and we're going to get started. This is somebody who apparently doesn't know.
She's a Bigfoot gifter.
She's a Bigfoot gifter, and she does not have our book.
Clearly.
And if you've got our book, you're going to know exactly.
Cute little lady. Should I move that back further?
No, this will work.
Okay.
Just
Pretty
like
straight.
that. Yeah.
And there's not much going on in the background, so it's not a big deal if we get it perfect.
Okay, so this is Barb Shupe, and she'll introduce herself.
And these are.
Or Chiefs and oboe. Here we go. I like that.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab a little flashlight.
Okay, and Judy said that she sent pictures this time.
Oh, good.
Let me check that real fast. And don't forget, candidates, we need those photos in for tomorrow's class. Thank you, Jody. We appreciate you sending that in. She had a picture of the bridge. We was wanting
good
to show people about that.
Oh, get that off there.
Yeah.
Get that off there.
It's not on there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was showing on the. Sorry. I thought that was an address showing.
I'll use. Look at where she. That's the All right. Well, let's pause just 1 second because we want to show that Judy too has her 725 803. We don't want to show the package that has information on,
yeah.
But this is the, once you unpackage, you will find this, and you can hang it up, you can frame it, it's artwork, even though it's on paper.
We did the artwork. BF Sway was just the name that we were using for a while too. We
still use
kind of,
it.
do we? Yeah. We'll keep using it.
Yes,
Just to sign on illustrations that are, it's just our pseudonym name for artwork, but it's us.
And this is the cedar and the matchstick. We like doing that because the predators don't like the smell of burning cedar because they use it for their bedding and things like that. So when they smell it, it smells like their home's on fire, so they don't like it. Also, it's with the Indians, is to push evilness and bad energy away. But cedars can capture energy. That's why these things will be in cedar trees, because they're trying. And people are energy, and animals are energy, and you can capture energy off people and attract it because it's like a magnet.
It's one of their favorite trees to create blinds out of. Very easy to create blinds with it.
And if people are sick, you get some hot steaming water, lay them in it, and then fill that with cedar, clean cedar, not the kinds near a road or something. And that cedar will pull that sickness out of that person. Make
sure there's no bugs or anything caught up.
Yeah, or oil or around towns. And this is also with Lorna's.
Yeah, that's the bookmark that Lorna made. It's got an angel on each end, and we just love those bookmarks. And Tracker Lorna is generous enough to send them to us, and from time to time we forward them on to others.
And
to
that's
use
how,
them for our own Bibles.
and that's how you receive. It'll be in a bubble wrap most of the time, but we package up the books, and that's exactly how it looks when you get it. So thank you, Judy, for sending that in and showing everybody that you got your books and DVD, and Carlos has got his, all the way to Argentina, all the way to where you're at. Everybody is you see, Tracker17 says she looks familiar to me. She needs your books. Yes, she does. And I've never seen her before, but just listening to what Lee Tracker was saying, she does need these books. And we're going to be, the things that she's doing, we're going to be saying, well, that's on page so-and-so.
Yeah,
we're going to read
got
some
most
of
of them written down, but we ran out of time. So,
Yeah.
Our trackers may help us out with that. Our moderators, they almost have this book memorized by now.
And Judy says, beautiful artwork.
Thank you.
Graybeard says, Lee Tracker E, do you use acrylic or oil?
I don't have the patience for oil, so either ink pen, colored pencils, or acrylic.
Mm-hmm. Judy says she got that message right away. There you go. Tracker17 says, oh, like that poster, Lee Tracker E and Jury.
Thank you. 17 says that picture would make for a great poster for the wall, LTE and Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy sending love. So what is that? Oh, extra hearts, double hearts.
Double hearts.
Tracker Lorna sending love. And Tracker17 says, beautiful bookmark, Tracker Lorna. They are.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
And Tracker Lorna says, thank you.
All right.
All right. Let's get to correcting Miss Shupe.
Miss Shupe.
Dupe-A-Dupe. Shadow Tracker J loves her bookmark. Good.
Oh, all right. So this is Barb Shupe. Let's, you may have to do it because I'm not sure exactly where to, because I will stop it in when she says, my name is.
Well, but you do it because.
Let me get the bell. Bell.
Yeah, there you go.
I had never even heard of cloaking at that point. I didn't know it was an option. It wasn't on the list of things that can happen.
Can I ring the bell?
Yeah.
So this is the person who's going to give. It's good to tell people what you see out there, but if you don't know what it is, it's better to not give the information or your opinion. It's better to find somebody who knows. And if people don't know, go find somebody else. Don't take information from somebody who doesn't know, who just, they're going to give an opinion. I've seen so many people do that.
On pages 51 and 53, we talk about the translucence of the Predator Bigfoot book. We also talk about it in Monster Spotters briefly.
Is that the
It's on page 51, and then on page 53, it's in paragraph
on the
4.
appearance, right?
I think so.
And also on 111, which is translucent viewing.
Oh yeah, we also have a whole chapter. Yeah, I didn't get that far in the book.
Okay. So
Several places in the book we have. Go ahead.
Oh, when she's talking about she didn't know it was even an option that they could cloak is what she says. But on page 111 in the Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warrior's Path is a whole chapter on translucent viewing. Also in Water Spirits, in that chapter, it talks about the crystallized look and how they blend in with the water. Also that they'll use mud and sticks to use as camouflage. And also in appearance on page 51.
And on 53.
And so right now she already needs this book just by what she was opened up with. She needs this book already. But of course, they think that they know what they're talking about. So let's go a little further.
since I was a little kid, I've had an interest in Sasquatch. The first time that I heard about it was probably, I was 6, 7 years old. My folks had taken us camping up at Mount St. Helens. It's the Spirit Lake campground. And in the evening, the ranger.
Wouldn't like one of the last ones go up to that same spot?
Was it?
Yeah, Mount Shasta, the campground.
Is Mount St. Helens by Mount Shasta?
And did she say Mount Shasta?
She said Mount St. Helens.
Oh, Mount St. Helens. Okay.
Gathered all the kids that were camping and had a big bonfire and told stories. And one of the stories that they told us about was about Ape Canyon. And I was fascinated about that. My little brother was terrified, but I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever heard about. And since then, you know, being a kid in the 70s, there wasn't a whole lot of reading material or there was no internet. The only thing you could do was watch whatever TV show, any new special that happened to come on. And those were the things you lived for. And then, you know, you get older and you move off to the woods and you start looking, but you don't really think anything is there around you because you've been raised to think that they're not real. And then one day you discover that all of the things that you've been thinking about all those years really do exist. They're really out there and they're not that far away from you. The very first time that I went up the trail that's right here by my cabin, it would have been back in early April of '92. I found a couple of broken trees beside the logging road that got my attention. The tops had been snapped out of them. And so I was curious and I stepped back into the woods a little bit to look at them a little closer, and I found a perfect footprint. And you could see where a whole story was laid out there, where they had taken a step on a higher piece of ground and their foot had slipped. Well, there was a broken stump beside it. That top of that stump got snapped off, and then they went between those two trees, reached up, snapped the tops off, and threw them on the ground. And when I read that, I read it in reverse. I found the trees on the ground, stepped back, saw the broken stump, walked over there, and then found the footprint where their foot had slid and left perfect impression in that soft dirt. And at that point, I was thinking that this was one lone individual that was passing through to more remote places. Never would have I thought that there's a whole family that's here all the time. And, you know, that was 20 some odd years ago, 30 some odd years ago. And over the years, there were so many things that happened in the woods that I never made the connection. You know, every now and then I'd think to myself, well, I wonder if that's something a Sasquatch might do. And then I'd think, no, there couldn't be. You know, if there were Sasquatches around here, I'd know about it. You know, it's a small town. People talk, you know, you don't keep secrets. Not like that, you wouldn't think. But yeah, so that was my very first experience. Skip ahead to, about 2006. I was right here in the yard at my cabin, and I had been out looking for a missing cat. And
there's a big.
She does find the cat.
Oh, good.
I did. I had the same reaction because there's so many missing pets. But she looks later on. She says, "I knew they'd catch your ear." Later on, she says, "I was out looking for probably that same cat again." So she didn't find
a cat. But I did find a stick that had a vine wrapped around it, and I thought that was pretty cool. I should keep that stick. So I came back, and I'm standing over there by the fire pit, trimming the branches off so that I could have just the stick with the vine on it, when from the top of this tree here, a big black ball of hair just drops right out of the sky, and it hits a limb, bounces over the roof of the cabin to another tree, hits another limb, drops down a little bit, back over the roof, and hit the corner of the porch roof. And from there, I lost sight of it. From where I was standing, all I had to do was just lean back just a little bit, and I could see the ground in front of the porch, and I was expecting to see some kind of broken body laying there, and there was nothing. I ran over and looked, and my chicken was on the porch, and she was all puffed up, just frozen in shape. She didn't know what that was either. It was just a black ball of fur, no tail, no wings, no arms, no legs, just a black ball of hair.
So on page 55 of Predator Bigfoot, we give several pages of different ways that they can appear. And one of the things that we say are some are just 1 foot high and show up as dark spots. And they can show up at dark spots at the base of trees, and these are scouts. And the chicken was all puffed up because that thing was thinking about coming after it.
Mm-hmm. What was the other word besides not flyers? There was a word you said, and I said, "Oh, that's a word for Bigfoot."
Here recently.
Yeah, it's not. We didn't put it in the book because I forgot about that word. But you said something like "shoot." No.
I wish we'd have wrote it down. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, it's another word for Bigfoot that's in the ancient books, and it was an energy kind of vampire or something.
I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah, we'll have to look up that name. But when she said that, I said, "Oh, that's another name for Bigfoot. That's in the ancient books." But we didn't put that in. I forgot to put that word in because I didn't remember that until you said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over the years, I thought about, what could that have been? And by process of elimination, I always came back to baby Sasquatch. But that just seemed ridiculous to me. I mean, you don't have baby Sasquatches in your yard. It just doesn't happen, you would think. And where was Mom, And it wasn't until, I was in 2012 that I saw the Sasquatch up here on the hill following the herd of elk. And at that point, I finally accepted that it was definitely a baby Sasquatch that jumped out of the tree here in the yard. Before I realized what was really going on here, I was out one night, once probably looking for that same cat. I had gone up the trail and I was maybe not even 50 feet up the trail, and from right here in the creek I heard an owl that growled, and it was a tip.
The owl and the growl?
Page 99 starts the chapter of Predator Bigfoot, starts the chapter on bird language, and we also address that in Monster Spotters briefly for the children. And sometimes those noises that you think you hear are not what you're hearing. And then we also address it in the chapter on mimicking, that they'll mimic other creatures. So we have a phrase that we teach our trackers: hear a bird, find a bird. If you think you hear an owl, do you see an owl? If you think you hear a crow, do you see that crow? Try to find whatever it is that you think that you hear, because sometimes it's just a trick.
And also,
birds definitely don't growl at you.
And birds are not going to alarm on you at 100 yards or 50 yards. They're not worried about you because you're not coming their direction. But if you got one chirping in the distance because you came out of your house, that pay attention to that. I just noticed that this where the camera is slowed down. It's kind of like maybe an eye or face turned sideways, and that brown in the back. But I also hear a bird, find a bird. Some of these Bigfoots are, well, of course, large, but even the large ones can sound like a little bird. They'll have a little chirp like a little bird. And I know Fred from Alaska, he has some stories where they heard a little chirping bird, but when they come around that corner, it was a big Bigfoot that sounded like a little chirping bird. So hear a bird, find a bird, because we want to make sure that's a real bird that's making that noise. And even the hear a bird, find a bird, it doesn't just pertain to birds. If you hear a cricket, if you hear a locust, if you hear a tree frog, locate that tree frog, locate that locust, locate that cricket. any kind of bird out there. And hear a bird, find a bird just means whatever sound is out there, find it. Make sure that that's a bird, that's a tree frog, that's locust. Because we don't want people being alerted on it. And if you're alerted on, think about it. If that bird's 50 yards away, it's not going to alert on you. I mean, you're not a threat to it until you get up close to it, maybe even 15 feet or 20 feet, and you're walking directly at the bird, it will alert on you. But at 50 feet, just because you come out of your house or went to your car, it's not going to alert on you. It's going to stay quiet until you go back inside or you leave. But if there's something chirping out there, pay attention to that. And also whippoorwills at nighttime. If you hear a whippoorwill at nighttime and you're in your house, 9 times out of 10, if it's a Bigfoot, it's going to be a whippoorwill sound where that light is in that room. And if you go and turn that light off, you're going to notice that that whippoorwill sound is going to stop. But if you turn that light on at the other side of the house, you know, you're going to have another disturbance or another sound for that, because they know that you move rooms. But if you've got a whippoorwill, it's going to be close to the light or the room that's got the light on. So turn that light off and test it, and you'll see if that whippoorwill quietens or stops, it's a Bigfoot.
Also, if you hear the same thing, there's one here, and then there's one there, and then there's one in the back of you, and one to your right, and one to the, circling around you. Those are not birds or frogs or owl. I've had back before I knew better, I thought it was an owl following me through the forest. It was not an owl. I questioned it. I was like, I asked some people, does an owl sound like this? Just try, even with my lack of knowledge then, I knew, maybe there was something goofy going on there. So they're not going to surround you and all make the same noises. And then you want to look for patterns of when you step out in each person of your house. When they step out, is there a particular sound, nature sound that they hear repeatedly for that person? For one, it might sound like a goose. For another, it might sound like a dog. It's almost like it's their nickname for this person.
Mm-hmm. And bird sounds are used more often than anything, but they'll establish you with the sound of a car alarm or unlocking the car doors. They can pick that sound up also. Hear a bird, find a bird. Remember that one. I'm not sure what. Oh, that's in bird language.
I already said the page.
What page is that?
Where'd it go?
Might be easier here.
Okay.
Other side. Oh, other side of this one. Maybe other side.
We're running out of signs.
Does anybody know what page bird
language 99. Page 99 starts the section on bird language, and then it's followed by mimicking, vocalizations, and gestures pages on 102, which is another starts a new section.
Do you know what page has Bigfoot Symphony on it?
I think it's within that. I just read that a little while ago.
This book doesn't have a lot written in it.
Which one?
That book.
Oh, yeah. Not marked up like this one.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're looking for Bigfoot Symphony.
Does anybody know what
I
page
just got through reading it.
Bigfoot Symphony is on? It's in one of the chapters.
I was thinking it was under maybe mimicking or bird language.
Maybe.
Because I didn't get much further than
Give us just a second, because but we can also use the mimicking vocalization and gestures on page 103. It says any basic sound that don't include a long, complicated string of words: crying, wailing, humming, laughing, moaning, sneezing, coughing, screaming, calling names, saying phrases such as "here, kitty, kitty," "come here," "friend good," and other short phrases are examples. When a predator Bigfoot says "my friend," they mean this person belongs to it. "Friend good" means friend tastes good. They have also been heard mimicking, singing, chanting, and whining. We have even recorded them saying meow. And also, there's another recording where it says puppy, and it sounds like a little child saying it.
In the very middle of the night, in the middle of the woods.
But if anybody finds the Bigfoot Symphony,
Here it is.
oh,
Page 77 under communication. There's a whole large paragraph that talks about the Bigfoot Symphony. You want it read?
yeah, let's read that real fast.
The Predator Bigfoot Symphony consists of the sounds of the forest. Each predator hunting group will have a multitude of mimickers. These predators mimic every living animal and insect. The cricket that sings with the bird at night, the single coyote that howls on the east, north, west side of a home, the tree frog or the locust, all are mimicked sounds each predator Bigfoot hunting group will have. There will be many predator Bigfoots with the same mimic. A group that sounds like crickets or locusts, while others sound almost like a group of coyotes in the distance. They mimic animal and bird sounds in specific sequences to signal to one another. When the sound of the coyotes are in the night air, this is done for two reasons. The predator Bigfoots need the loud sound to advance and capture prey, to advance unnoticed, or to pull back because they are too close and can be seen by a hunter or witness. When man is in the forest, the sounds of the predator Bigfoot Symphony is played every night for man to fall into a false sense of security. The predator Bigfoot Symphony concludes all at once by every predator Bigfoot hybrid stopping their mimic and becoming quiet to watch the reaction of the prey or to increase fear and raise the adrenaline in the blood for consumption. You will sense an immediate and uncomfortable shift in the atmosphere or energy. That's on page 77 of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hoo, but it was followed with a very deep growl.
Whenever we heard the sound of a little girl saying puppy, you heard that
like that on the inhale.
Yeah. And so with the Sierra sounds, they're thinking that these things are talking, using a language, but they're Bigfoots that are mimicking two people talking or arguing. The woman's getting chastised, but it's muffled, and you have to put that muffled sound also in with the mimic that they're doing in that video, because they're listening through a cabin or they're listening through a door. So also you have to put the inhale also in that mimic, but the world's best over there doesn't know that. So they're trying to say that these Bigfoots are talking to each other. No, it's a mimic through a cabin or through a door with an exhale and an inhale. And we've heard that before. And what she's talking about, we've heard that before, because after they said with the sound of the girl or the small child saying puppy, it had that intake and that growl went, but deeper growl.
And I know birds well enough to know that birds can't growl. And considering I was out there in the woods by myself in the dark, it was a little unsettling. And that was one of the stranger things that happened. Things like rocks being thrown, odd structures in the woods. I would find piles of branches, and nowadays, you know, now I know enough to know that these are what are considered structures and are related to the Sasquatch, but back then I didn't have any clue. I've seen orbs in the woods, little yellow lights that just bounce around together. And, you know, back then I just kind of wrote it off as, you know, the spirits of the forest animals, you know, squirrels or something just playing together.
So when you see orbs in the forest, those are fairies. Of course, some are energies of past people, but if you have Bigfoots, you're going to have fairies because they all eat together. Fairies don't need much to eat, and the Bigfoot always is going to rip their prey apart. So there's going to be pieces of food, and you'll also see them around homes, fairies around homes also, setting off motion detectors. You'll see those little orb lights around grills or dog food, things like that. So
We've shown videos of that. We have a live stream on the fairies, and they're nothing but little predators. And I used to be all about the fairies because we've been duped into thinking that they're just beautiful little sweet creatures, and no, fairies are predators.
let's play this real fast.
Okay.
We're going to play this little fairy video for you real fast. In the forest, lights in the sky and the forest, a lightning bug of unusual size, a strange light in the darkness or night sky, hovering or moving from side to side, images of a fireball in the sky, multiple crackling sparks in the sky. So those were fairies, orbs, floating around, and then whenever they heard some noise, they flickered around like a night bug. And they can move that fast. Sometimes the head glows, sometimes the body glows, and sometimes they don't glow at all. But they are always around Bigfoot. So what she's talking about, you know, she's in an active area, and there are. I'm surprised if she's at her location. I'm surprised that there's not one right behind her in the bushes. So maybe we're looking for a couple.
I did not make the connection with Sasquatch. The day that the Cloaker event happened, that was during our second camp out that we put on, my friend Sandy and I. We had people that, my viewers from my YouTube channel that that had contacted us and wanted to, you know, have some experiences here. So we set up a camp about 7 miles up the highway. And the second day, we brought the group down here to the cabin to take them up the trail and just show them some structures and where things had happened up there. So the first thing is we walk up the trail, not very far. Two of the people that were there didn't want to go off and see the structures that we were going to look at, so they stayed on the trail. My friend Sandy, she went off trail with us, but she went ahead farther back into the woods because she was going to go check her gifting area. So
What did she say?
She's gonna go check her gifting area.
Oh my goodness.
So they are giving terrible advice. They're luring in more Bigfoot gifters. We tell you exactly in great detail, which you haven't heard from other people, of why you don't, it's a much deeper level than just you shouldn't have contact with them. We tell you exactly what kind of pact that makes with them, with the Bigfoot gifters.
If you have this book and read this book, you'll understand that it, like Lee Tracker was saying, it's a much deeper meaning. And if you don't have this book, you're going to hear people, especially at those conferences, they always say, try to communicate, try to open your mind and let that demon in, or try to go feed it and become its meal, or its,
let me know how it works out.
Yeah, and then that's what they'll say. Let us know and report back to us. Let us know. We'll stay in contact. And these are some kind of big name people in that cryptid community, but they are very dangerous, suggesting that people do things like this.
Very irresponsible.
I'm gonna back that up just a little bit.
That's as irresponsible as telling somebody to do a Ouija board.
So that caught my attention just then when she said she went to go and check her gifting area. Now she has this book. She needs this book to understand the deeper meaning, the deeper level. Whenever, if she read this book, she would explain why you don't do something like that. But she doesn't have this book, so
she's going to go out and give people bad advice.
Yeah, and she even has a place on her property where she gifts, because they're going out, and this other person has been there many times apparently, because they have a gifting spot. Very dangerous people. Which one are you looking at?
I was trying to find in the book about gifting, but we do have a whole separate book about nothing but gifting. I was trying to find a section in here, but go ahead. Okay.
So Bigfoot Gifter's book, that's on Amazon, or you can also order that through us. It's $20 and $5 shipping and handling if you get it through us, autographed book, or you can get it through Amazon for the same price.
And Sandy, she went off trail with us, but she went to head farther back into the woods because she was going to go check her gifting area. So I believe there were 9 of us total that day. We followed an animal.
So she's taking people to where these predators are. That's very dangerous. They're gifting these predators in that area So these predators know that people are coming and going, but they already see who's coming. And that's just meals waiting, because you can tell already they're not going to have weapons. And these Bigfoots, they know if you got a weapon or not. And these people here are just walking meals. And I'm still surprised that they're still here.
We do have in the book, in the Predator Bigfoot book, under the chapter on communication, it starts on 77, but on page 78, we do say, we strongly discourage people from attempting communication with the predators by using any of these methods, and some of the methods are the gifting. We say people who whoop, tree knock, rock clack, or gift are not allowed to track with us a second time. We vehemently oppose those who encourage children to enter Predator Bigfoot whooping contests. When people engage in or teach others in this manner, they are literally training those already vulnerable to call predators to themselves. This is not a game, and it is not entertainment. So, and the same would apply to gifting. Keep going.
Yeah, even that part.
Whistling is also a dangerous practice in the woods, especially in the early mornings, at twilight, and during the night. More information on Predator Bigfoot sounds can be found under the section on mimicking.
Trail.
Go ahead.
Okay.
She was going to go check her gifting area. So I believe there were 9 of us total that day. We followed an animal trail just that kind of looped back and around to where there was a tree that had been knocked down and then broken in the middle with both ends suspended. And we thought it was curious that this tree could have been broken in the middle without knocking either end of it down. So that's what we were looking at when it happened. I had my camera on my walking stick just attached to the end, and it was on just in case. I wasn't intentionally filming anything. We're just standing there discussing this broken tree, when right in front of me, about 80 feet ahead, I see this black head pop up, about so much of it, triangular shape, no neck. It just popped up and took off running, and it was all arms and legs and hair. And one of the people that was there turned and stepped right in front of me. At that point, I didn't see where it went. I kind of assumed from there it had gone across the trail. The people that had gone ahead and were sitting on the logs on the trail waiting for us, my dad's wife was one of them. She was sitting there with her little dog in her lap, and they heard the commotion, and she looked that way. She didn't see anything, but when she looked back directly across the trail from where she was sitting, she said she saw what looked like a little black monkey came head first down the tree and took off into the bushes.
It's just another mutation of these things.
And some of our streams, or some of the, we used to have drawings where we would let people know that these Bigfoots hang their facing downward in the tree. So you're not, and then the body is in the bushy part, more inside the tree, but the head will be at one of the lower branches, or it'll have one eye looking around the tree, but it'll be right in the crevice of the branch and the stem of the tree. But they climb up trees just as good as they climb down trees, and they will face straight down and climb straight down a tree just like a squirrel. It's not a problem for them because of the claws that they have. And so they go up and down trees. Their head facing downward like a squirrel. So what she's talking about is true, and they do that.
So at that point, we knew there were 2.
2. Well, okay. At that point, they know there's 2, but they always travel in a troop. They worked in a group. So at least 6 were there. But these are the only ones that they seen. The other ones stayed put. They didn't chase the big one. And if they didn't chase the small one, these other ones are going to stay in their position. But with that small one, the small one was the one to decoy them, to get them to go further into the forest.
Later that night, when we got back to camp, I went over my camera hoping that I had caught what I had seen. And what the camera picked up wasn't what I saw. What I saw was the black head popped up and ran. What the camera picked up looks like something from a Predator movie. And I was pretty shocked by that. We had to put it on a bigger screen to get a bigger look. And at that point I realized, okay, this is something that my camera can't do. We went to the big screen in my dad's motorhome and got a really good look at it. And that was really life altering for me, because up until that point, I didn't believe in the woo, not like I do now. You know, I had seen Sasquatch vanish into thin air and I had rationalized it.
Okay, so translucent viewing, page 111 in the Predator Bigfoot Spiritual Warrior's Path book.
And also, and I'll read that in just a second, also on page 154 under yourself, loved ones, animal companions, and livestock. The first paragraph says it's important to trust your intuition about danger around you. If the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, the predator is behind you. When you get goosebumps on your right side, it is on your right. If you feel uncomfortable sensations on your left, the predator is on your left. If there is no other indication of wind, but you feel the wind on your body, that's your body telling you there's a predator, a translucent or concealed predator nearby. And let me go to 111. And that'll come up in just a minute.
And page 111 under translucent viewing in your Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warrior's Path book.
And then there's also some of that in the
Water spirits.
and in Monster Spotter's book.
Oh yeah.
Translucent viewing is learning to use the outlines to distinguish between trees, branches, and twigs and an object not in true form. Translucent viewing of training the right and left eye is an easy method to locate these predators with the eyes. Translucent viewing is looking for the crystallized or watery haze look, whether on land or in water. This was explained earlier and is where the right and left eye do the work by the right eye catching a glimpse of movement and having the left eye define what is supposed to be and what is there, but only as an outline. Research invisibility shields to understand how the predator's hair bends light. This is one way, the flesh and blood, but yes, they are still demonized. Predator Bigfoots and Predator Bigfoot hybrids can seem to disappear or vanish. To put it simply, and also mentioned earlier, so earlier in the book is more on it. The hair is hollow and reflects surfaces around it. As with an invisibility shield that is slightly bent to deflect light, so does the hair of the Predator Bigfoot. The hair of the Predator Bigfoot has no medulla, which deflects light in the same way as an invisibility shield. Again, the hair can be transparent, short or long, matted or neat. It can be black, white, brown, tan, gray, cream, multicolored, cinnamon color, or simply reflect the color of whatever is around it. They can even appear to be the greens of the forest around them. One long hair can have multiple colors side by side. We have a picture of translucent, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
To see the translucent predators, think of those 3D artworks where you have to soft focus your eyes or look through to see the object emerge. Let those with eyes to see. Pray for discernment as the physical and spiritual worlds are here together and the veil between them is thinning. Don't let those who don't know and can't see make you think you're crazy. That's one of the greatest tools of the predators because it leads to doubting God, self-doubt, mistrust, and isolation, and makes their insidious job of disarming and causing you to destroy yourself that much easier. It makes children turn to imaginary friends that are not imaginary. It is a fine line the parent must walk between preparing but not scaring their children, but it must be navigated. If people know what is out there, they won't go into shock and lose valuable reaction time. We have been accused by the uneducated of being fearmongers when our only goal is to teach people to be prepared, not scared. And there's more to the, it goes on further. Let's see. We're going to put up an example of what it can look like in its translucent form.
Give us 1 second. I've been meaning to do this. I wasn't sure about that.
We're getting the pictures loaded up. So they can appear to look like whatever they're in front of. Like a mirage on a hot highway.
Okay, so she's talking about translucent viewing, and we teach this in the course. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's giving us a little trouble loading it. Good time to refresh your drink real quick.
If you want to miss this. Okay, so she's talking about the translucent viewing. So we want to show you this is what she would have been seeing. Now, this is one that's we practice by looking for the lines, the gray lines or the black lines, and then we follow that and use the outline. I think I circled the face in this one, and it's in that bottom right corner. It looks like it's got dog ears, but I think I circled it in this one. It's a little different picture than the other one. This was a second picture of it taken as it moved. So this one's looking more straight. But at the bottom of that, you can see the open mouth.
If you've seen the movie Predator, that's another good example.
So this is a better look at the face in that same position as this one. But this is a better look at that face. And this is translucent viewing. Here's another translucent we caught. And we're looking for those black lines, those gray lines that doesn't fit with the tree. And here's another one. Now this one is pretty much see-through, but look at the black lines and use those lines to trace it. And this one is actually hanging sideways in the tree.
Now imagine how easily something like that could hide in water that already looks pretty much like that.
Yeah. Here's another one that's hiding, that's taking the green vegetation.
This one reminds me of the Chinese food dogs.
And here's another one that's just in the tree line.
But this is how they can look like they are the tree, just stepping out from the tree.
Here's one sent in by Pyromanic.
Several of them.
And here's one from a property that we tracked.
You can see the eyes. If you start with the eye,
You'll get to those sharp teeth that are
Yeah,
sticking out there. And again, here's this one that's in the tree.
and they can also appear to look just like a haze, a discoloration. It can either be almost a smoky blue look, or just a negative green that doesn't quite match the greens around it.
That was,
Let's get this on. So those were translucent. That's what she was talking about. And they blew up their screen so they could see it better. But those were examples of translucent Bigfoots.
Another thing you want to pay attention to is, are the branches moving, but it doesn't match what the wind is doing, or you know, you're looking for oddities.
we went to the big screen in my dad's motorhome and got a really good look at it. And that was really life altering for me, because up until that point, I didn't believe in the woo, not like I do now. You know, I had seen Sasquatch vanish into thin air and I had rationalized it. I had seen vegetation being mowed over by something that wasn't there and I rationalized it. And until I had the cloaker on video where I could look at it and go, I saw this, I know what this was, and this is what the camera captured. Now I believe. Now I get it. Okay, so when the cloaker event,
I don't think she gets it, but she's ahead of most, but she's still not there. But she does need this book.
I don't know where we have in here that not to rationalize or try to use your logic to ignore the truth of what you're seeing.
I know that it's in that what we're saying, that this book was made for, where it says something like scoffed at and ridiculed and don't doubt yourself.
But there's times that we'll talk ourselves out, you know, we'll stretch farther and be more
Not us.
Well, yeah, I just meant
People.
will stretch so far for an explanation that it's more ridiculous than just accepting what is.
Or they'll say, maybe I didn't see that. The more they think about it, maybe, and their mind will be too nervous or not be able to handle what they've seen, and they'll change it. And they'll put it to the side, like, oh, maybe that was just wind. Maybe it was just
my imagination. I must be tired.
I must be tired.
And then the people around them will also feed into that and say, oh, you're just...
It's even worse telling people.
What have you been drinking? You've been
Are you on
smoking?
drugs?
Yeah.
Are you sick? Are you on medication?
Are you crazy?
Or you need medication, or you need to talk to,
happened, and 9 of us had gone up there. I believe there were 6 of us that were standing there when it happened. Claudia was standing off to my right, and you can see in the video that she looks back in that direction a couple times. And she said later that something had got her attention. She thought she saw fingers holding a stick, holding a branch.
Now, these things hang up in the trees. They look just like everything else, but if you know what to look for, you got to look for those lines. You got to listen to the wind. You got to know that if the wind's blowing, you got to make sure everything is moving. These things, what she's talking about, these things do, like this one here. You know, you can see the face and the outline. So this is something like what she's talking about now.
And but she wasn't looking when it moved. So I was the only person that saw the head come up and the individual run off. Everybody else just heard it. And then Juanita, my dad's wife, she saw the baby, but that was it. In the video, when he popped up, we were looking at this log and I said, what the heck is that? Did you see that? And as it took off running, and everybody else was facing me, and nobody turned around quick enough to see it run off. But we did follow the tracks the next day, so we know where it went. Right about that same time, I had made a trip to the Blue Mountains, and while I was there, I experienced the woo like I hadn't quite experienced it here, although here.
So it doesn't matter where she's going. Once you can pick that up, you're going to be able to see these things, or at least emotion, or you'll know what to look for. And a lot of people who don't know, they'll go camp or walk right in front of these things. Or we got a friend who got hit by one, but he also at one time almost leaned, thinking it's a tree, almost leaned up against it. But he was also struck in the chest by another one that put him in a hospital and broke his chest cavity, I think.
And he actually, yeah.
And he is an experienced person.
He is experienced. He did know they existed. He, a seasoned soldier, veteran.
But these things can look just like this. So you have to know what you're looking at.
They also like to build their blinds and things in where the sunlight, where it's directly in the sunlight to make it hard for you, or it's in the path of the sunlight. So it makes it even harder to spot.
You got to know.
I had seen orbs and I saw cloaking. When I went to the Blues, that's when I saw eyes glowing and I was sizzled a bit. People talk about being
Sizzled a bit.
Zapped. I was.
Infrasound. But also, if she has an open mind, because a lot of people, they open their mind to these things, trying to communicate, that these things can enter into that mind and give them that feeling too.
And I've been, not even with an open mind to them, been attacked from behind. It feels like if you took if you stuck a 9-volt battery to your tongue, but much, much, much more intense, but at that frequency, I guess, but strong. I don't know how to put it, but up and down my spine, been zapped by them.
But these things can throw that frequency. They can also, with that frequency, cause fear. They can project that onto a person. And that's when people will just get this uncontrollable fear,
despair,
dread. Once they get that, they know that these things are around. But most of the people who get that don't know about these things until after.
Yeah.
If they get out of the woods, if they make it home safe, they start doing the research. Then they find out that what happened to them was a predator that was focused on them.
And just like a demon, but any one of those emotions releases adrenaline into your, it puts out energy, and these are energy feeders.
And I was sizzled a bit. You know, people talk about being zapped. I was slightly sizzled. But by the time I came back from that trip to the Blues, when you add the experiences I had there with the experiences that I've had here, it was really difficult for a very long time to go up the trail and get it through my head that these things are real, you know, because you can think about it in your head rationally and go, okay, this is what I've experienced. I now know that this happens. But when you're actually walking on the trail and trying to convince yourself that there could be an invisible being standing 6 feet from you, it's
an invisible being standing 6 feet from you.
And more than one. You can be surrounded by them.
More than one. And hungry and have sharp teeth, more than one, bigger than they are, translucent. You start looking at life and the world differently because you're more aware and you know what to look for now. You know things are out there.
Your
really
eyes are open.
Yeah.
I now know that this happens. But when you're actually walking on the trail and trying to convince yourself that there could be an invisible being standing 6 feet from you, it's really difficult to get that mindset and think in that mindset. And I struggled with that for a long time. You know, even now, you know, when things happen, your mind wants to rationalize and go with the things that you were raised to believe are normal. And yeah, it can be really difficult to get those things out of your head. But from that point on, things really started to pick up. Our campouts that we'd have,
She said that those things started picking up, but she is more aware. Before, she could have had these same things happen and not, you know, say, oh, that's a squirrel making that noise, or that's a owl making that noise, or that branch that fell or came into the camp that must have caught the wind and fell into the camp.
Yeah, or pay no attention at all.
Yeah, or no paying no attention at all. She's more aware now, as people who watch this channel and read the books and watch the DVD, they're all more aware and they're more safe.
Begin to notice patterns, and it's the same. It is a part of spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
Once you become aware of it, it's like a teeming sea of creatures, this atmosphere around us.
And a lot of people look at the Bible different and say, hey, this Bible's telling us these things are here.
This is not metaphor.
Yep. Giants, translucent, animal hybrids, people hybrids. There's a whole bunch of demons. All these things are real.
The experiences that we'd have as a group and individually, it's like we're on part of a path, and that was just the introduction to it. You know, things have just continued to grow since then.
Because she's aware. Let's catch up on some comments.
Okay.
We're going to catch up on some comments with everybody. Word Chief is, was she saying Sabe? I wasn't sure.
I think he was waiting for her to say Sabe.
Oh, okay.
Because usually the people that are Bigfoot lovers call him Sabe.
Yeah. And
Sovereign says, she said crick in place of creek. Yeah, it's a regional thing.
Crick, down by the creek.
Hear a bird, find a bird is what I mentioned in a video I shot this morning. Sound advice.
Good, good.
No such thing as coincidence, 17 says. That is, we agree.
We agree.
Sovereign says, facts, the bird chirp mimics. 17 says, yes, mimics, predatory trick to fool prey.
Yeah.
Wild Man says, never heard anyone mention frog and cricket mimics. I recently started to realize this. War Chief says it's when you can't hear any insects or birds and a large predator is very near, or more than one.
Yeah, or more than one. Yeah.
Yep. Wild Man says never heard anyone mention. Oh, no, it's just a repeat.
Oh,
1-7 says very true, War Chief. War Chief says, or the predator Bigfoot may whistle at you. Yes, and that's also in the both this book and in the Monster Spotters book, to teach the children not to whistle in the woods. It brings the monsters, and that's no good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good one.
Or it calls the monsters, and that's no good. War Chief says, so don't be whistling out in the bush. Agreed. JR says Mount Shasta is in Northern California. Mount St. Helens is in Southern Washington State. Both always very active areas along the Cascade Ranges. Active for both Bigfoot and volcanism. Okay, thank you, JR. Yeah.
Thank you, JR.
One
Wealth
day
of knowledge.
we would love to go visit up there. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Judy says we actually watched and listened to the crows that sounded off on a hunter as he moved through the forest, and we were amazed at how the birds track people. Yeah. We teach you if they're spotting you, step into the shadow, step up against a tree. They make sure it's a tree, and let the forest calm down until they go away, because they're trying to alert and let the Bigfoots know here's food. They can't bring you down, but the Bigfoots can.
Sure
and
can.
when they eat, the birds eat. Wildman says the coyote mimic is amazing. Yeah.
But you can tell.
Something a tiny bit off. It's always just a little odd. That's in our intro also. Wildman says, I think they can mimic an entire coyote pack singing. Definitely.
Yeah, if you listen to this intro and our outro at the end, you'll hear that exactly.
Wildman says, true about the fairies. Many people are reluctant to acknowledge this fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wildman says, wow, that orb shape shifted into a smaller size. 1-7 says, gifting area. Oh, so ignorant. Lorna says, Tracker Lorna says, Bigfoot are not your friend, period. They will eat you.
Yes. They sure will.
JR says, gifting areas can become sacrificial altars. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
War Chief Tracker C says, is anyone else seeing the little red orange orb? That, I think that was a reflection. I'm shining a flashlight on my book, and it was probably bouncing back up into my glasses.
Oh, okay.
Shadow Trucker J says, you give gifts to your girlfriend or boyfriend. Are they trying to get a date? Exactly.
Exactly.
Tracker Lorna says, you see it, War Chief Tracker C. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was, yeah. We can skip those. That's all that was. It was just the light bouncing around in here.
Okay. There's might be late Tracker E's glasses.
Yeah. Wildman says, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna skip all
D
those.
Spence is here.
Hey, D Spence, how you doing?
Everybody saying hello to D Spence.
Good to see you.
1-7.
I wonder where Elastic Machinery is.
Yeah, he's supposed to have been here.
Judy says, no medulla, like clear holographic hair. I've witnessed the sparkly version of them appearing in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her area's infested.
Hey, D.
Thank you, D Spence, for the super sticker. We sure do appreciate you.
Sure do. Shadow Tracker J is saying,
thank you, D.
Thank you, D.
War Chief says, just imagine the movie Predator and you've got it. Exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't get that from nowhere.
Yep.
Judy says, sparkle. We knew what you meant.
Yep.
Judy says, War Chief, yes, indeed.
Tracker 17 is thanking D Spence. Tracker Lawrence thanking D Spence.
Judy says researchers feel that they're still alive or haven't been hurt by one, so they feel they're not a threat. Now they're just food in the pantry. They're going to keep bringing gifts.
Yeah, they're going to let them keep bringing gifts.
They're easy. They'll bring gifts and people.
And a lot of them go to a place. They don't do it outside their home. They go find a place to gift. And
yeah, because when they find out that it's outside their, well, they find out if they're doing it outside their home, it creates problems they cannot handle. Yeah. And they're creating problems for people. We talk about that in the book too. They're creating problems for the people in the future that will come there.
That go there.
That aren't bringing gifts. they are getting those predators used to that, and they will get aggressive when those people show up and don't know that they're supposed to, in quotes, bring them gifts.
Yep.
It's a dangerous thing.
And they move quick. They get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
War Chief says, Halito, and thank you, D. Spence.
Judy says, wow, that's crazy. I can see that. D says, you can see its face. Scary stuff. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
17 says, Judy Wheeler, Yowie researchers, in quotes, here think the Yowie is a vegan ape and is our friend. It's so hard to get through to these scoffers. Yeah, it's craziness. Judy says, but would they let their child, their little grandchild, just, would they leave them unattended with that friend? Or let them walk up and feed it? I don't know. Some of these dummies might.
Yeah.
Judy says, those teeth. Yeah. And she says, hi, D. Tracker 17 says, Yowie researchers here believe the Yowie. Oh, that just repeated.
Oh.
I think it's doing double post a little bit.
D. Spencer saying, hi, Judy.
Judy says, hi, Tracker 17. Agree. War Chief says, well, just wait and see one of them be a part of the big predator Bigfoot salad, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a matter
the
of time.
vegans. 17 says, oh, yes, War Chief, I'm waiting for one or more researchers to go missing.
Yeah.
And they have, but nobody.
Yeah, they won't be
know.
reported. They'll be quiet.
Yeah, you bet it will. Judy says, we overanalyze everything. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
War Chief says, well, it will happen, if not sooner, for sure later. It's already
will.
happened.
It's already happened.
Wildman says, when Shupe mentioned Claudia, she was referring to Claudia Ackley. My issue with Shupe is that she doesn't explicitly mention, I think more is coming in a second. I don't know the other lady either. Shupe mentioned Claudia, she's referring to Claudia.
Oh.
Wait, no, that was the rest of it.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
go back? She hasn't explicitly mentioned Claudia Ackley in past interviews. The late, great Claudia turned to Jesus Christ because she saw the truth. Interesting. Haven't heard of her, but thank you for that information.
Yeah, she did mention that.
Yeah. Shadow Trucker J says, Trucker 17, even an ape presented with meat will eat it. They will eat their own young. Yeah, even chickens will.
Lions, everything
Every
will.
predator.
That's a predator. Yep.
War Chief says, and just imagine a predator Bigfoot in the spider position. You may never notice it's in front of you. Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be so small.
Trucker 17 says, yes, they do. Yet these clown Yowie researchers think they know more than what reality shows them. And they're mocking and trying to shut up the people that are trying to warn them and tell them. We're not just doing this for giggles.
Mm-hmm. Here to save lives.
Hey, Appalachian.
Appalachian Mountain Man.
Good afternoon to you too. War Chief says, Halito, Appalachian. 17 says, yes, crouched like a spider ready to leap on its prey, human included. Yes.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings to Appalachian. Tracker 17 says, Halito to Appalachian. Judy says, I've witnessed this with my own eyes and immediately thought of what I learned from Jerry and then what they looked like. We made it home safely after being stuck and lost on a ridge.
Oh, I remember that.
Tracker 17 says, thankful the Lord had you, Judy Wheeler. No kidding.
Yeah.
Wildman says at Tracker 17, it's happened before. Claudia Ackley was going missing. She was getting abducted and stalked by cryptids and men in black. Oh, no. Well, I'll have to look her up.
Let me get that back.
Wildman says, Tracker 17, her story is absolutely mind-boggling. I recommend pulling up her interviews. Interesting. When we get time, I'm going to do that. Tracker Lorna says, hi to Appalachian. Tracker 17 says, I'll have to. I expect to be cringing watching her. Judy says, I knew then Jerry was right and started watching his channel, and now 2 years later, here I am still learning from Tracker E, Ella, and Jerry Williams. We're glad you are.
We're glad
Judy.
you're here, Judy.
She says, I'm more aware and have been teaching my daughter and her family. We're so glad. And they've come a long way, huh? And they're listening because I think at first they were not believing.
Yeah.
Wildman says, oh, yeah, it seems to be, it's doing that to a couple people. Judy says, I'm glad to be a part of this with you all. We're
Mm-hmm.
glad you're here. Tracker17 says, you're good, Wild Man. I do it too. Shadow Tracker J says, we're glad you're here too, Judy. Judy says, thank you, Shadow Tracker J. Graybeard says, hi, D. Spence. Sorry I missed you come in. Lyrical Jazzy says, oops, almost dropped my popcorn. I got to go hit the sack. I got school in the morning. Mom is still listening. I'll watch the rest tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Good night. Good night.
All
And
right.
we want you to know at this child's school, she gets straight A's.
She is a straight A student ever since we've known her.
With a good attitude.
Yeah. And she
Trucker
sent some
17
hearts.
says, and good night. Sleep well, no dreaming.
Yeah.
Tracker 17 says, good night, Lyrical Jazzy. Graybeard says, good evening, Jazzy. Judy Wheeler says, Lyrical Jazzy, good night. Tracker 17, where are we?
Let's get the good nights first.
Shadow Tracker J says, good night, Lyrical Jazzy. Truth Walker says, good night to Jazzy. Tracker 17 says, yes, they would. I heard one on a video spying exactly like that. They trust the predator.
Oh, wow.
Judy says, it's already happened. Wow, too bad that's not well known. And she says, but everything is hidden behind closed doors. Yeah. Graybeard says, hello, Appalachian. Judy does too. Judy says, spider crawl is creepy. It sure is. Tracker Lorna says, good night, Lyrical Jazzy. And War Chief says, good night, Little Warrior.
All right.
Back to this lady. I don't think we're going to get through the whole thing. We're already.
We'll stop
go
at
further.
10.
We'll go further. Okay.
Here we go. Let's get as far as we can.
Get those things out of your head. But from that point on, things really started to pick up. Our campouts that we'd have, the experiences that we.
And Judy says, they have come a long way, and my grandchild noticed an X along a tree line while riding the school bus.
Good. Glad
Good
that
job.
you said that.
Oh, my goodness. So good
Thank
knowing
you.
that.
Glad they're paying attention.
Yeah,
And we even talk about school buses in Monster Spotters.
sure do. So it's in that book.
Have as a group and individually. It's like we're on part of a path, and that was just the introduction to it. You know, things have just continued to grow since then. I would say that I experience things on a regular basis. There's rarely a month that goes by that I don't have some kind of a sign that they're here, that they're around, that they're paying attention and they're listening.
Stalking.
Yeah, it's called stalking. It's called stalking their food. Stalking their prey.
Yeah, your food in the pantry.
And you don't know it. Oh my goodness.
Gifting them, giving them your energy.
Doing everything wrong that you could possibly
bringing other
do.
people there to feed them their energy.
These things will, while at her cabin, they're going to come up to her cabin. They're going to take her pets. They're going to eat the food that she puts out for her pets. They're going to go through her garbage. They're just waiting for that opportunity to have that meal. Oh my goodness.
You know, I can go out and I can say something to them and I can talk to them.
Can you?
Oh my goodness.
You can talk to them and they can mimic you.
Yeah. And are they saying full sentences to you, or
Are
are
they saying
they
friend good?
friend
Yum yum.
good? Yum yum. You're
Come outside. I want to eat you.
Oh my
They mind
goodness.
speaking?
And she's thinking she has to go out there and say words to them while they're already in her mind. And if she's saying that they're giving conversations and
full assent.
Yeah. And that's another way to say that she's lying. If she's saying that they're holding a conversation. But if it's in her mind, then it's more believable because that's mind speaking. That's directly into that. That means that demon's inside her, inside that mind.
Yeah.
It's found an opening an opportunity,
It's been granted an opening.
and yeah, granted. I knew she was going to be doing that, though. I
Yeah.
knew that
Yeah.
they all do it once they, and someone told her that it's okay or to try to
Encouraged her to
communicate.
do that.
Yeah.
Just like the, yeah.
Because they already was gifting. They had a gifting place.
Yeah. The very, very first group that I sought knowledge from were all about preserving these things and encouraged me to go out there and leave food for them and to gift them.
Wow. Oh, these people who are at these conferences who basically they're saying, go be food. Go
be food. Teach your kids to.
Go be a sexual thing for these things. Food or pleasure is what they.
And I'll have a response. They'll bring me a gift, or there'll be a knock or a vocal, or there'll be something that to show me that yes, they're still here and they're still paying.
Yeah, to keep you interested.
They're just out there. They're gonna knock when you come out. They're gonna say, "Well, there she is."
They don't knock for deer.
They don't whoop for deer. They don't whoop for a raccoon. They whoop for people. And they're saying she's outside. She's going to give us some food, or she's alone. And if she got.
They're saying soon.
Soon. Yeah, that whoop is soon will be together.
You just wait till that, perfect circumstances. Right now, you're tempting.
She is trying to communicate with a predator that will eat her at any opportunity.
Yeah, and when that great restrainer is lifted, these people that do not have the spiritual protection are going to be attacked by these beasts of the field.
There'll be a knock or a vocal, or there'll be something that to show me that yes, they're still here and they're still paying attention.
And there go the eyes.
You're saying
the body can't help it. The body cannot help it.
And she's going outside talking, and they're going, "Oh, I bet she tastes like what she cooked tonight on that grill outside."
The body knows better than the, like her willing spirit there.
Yeah.
Like her body itself. They always do something funny with the eyes when they say something that the body knows better.
And this thing still looks like it's getting to where it's trying to look a little further around that corner out there.
Peeking there between.
And I'm 100% sure that when these things.
Wait a minute. You're 100% sure.
100% sure.
What's she about to say here? You don't know anything, but you're 100% sure about. That's why I had to stop. I wanted to. This person doesn't know anything about what she's getting into or what these things are.
No, but she's going to give advice about it.
And she's 100% sure
Taking
about
other
something.
people out there to it.
What is she? Have you seen this part?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I scrolled through a bunch of it, so I don't know. I didn't get all the way through.
Okay. Well, let's see what she's 100% sure of that she will let people know.
Still here and they're still paying attention. And I'm 100% sure that when these things happen, it's always deliberate. These things are always on purpose.
We agree with that.
Okay. We agree with
right.
that.
It is deliberate.
It's on purpose. It's saying she's outside. She's alone.
Wonder if she has grandkids that come visit too.
Oh, I hope not. But yeah, it is on purpose. It's not like they want to be your friend. They're communicating, saying she's outside. She's trying to talk to us.
Keeping that connection, keeping that demonic connection.
Maybe she's got some food. Yeah, her mind is open. We can get inside.
There's very little random acts that just are coincidental.
Because it's strategic.
And you're baiting them there.
You're allowing them to get close to you.
You want them there.
They're going to come closer because you're not deterring them. You don't know that this thing is waiting to eat you at any
Dupe.
possible time it gets. It's going to eat you.
These things are always on purpose. There's very little
Much
random
like a
acts that just
predator or human.
are coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite an
She
experience
dreams.
over in the Blue Mountains when I got zapped.
Yeah, just like a friend would do.
Yeah, your
they run
friends
up and
zap you.
ya.
Your
Yeah,
friends
your
come
friends
up
like to
and
cause you pain.
throw rocks at you
Quite an experience.
and eat your cats and dogs and look in your windows and watch you at night.
I had been
Yeah.
part of 2 different campouts that had come together in the same place, which was miraculous that it was everybody that was there was supposed to be there.
No,
Was
everybody.
it miraculous or was it orchestrated by the other side?
Or were you in an active area, walked into a place where you may know that these things are, and you're all cooking and talking, and these things
Setting it up.
and these things are coming in going, oh, if we could just eat all of y'all.
There'll be food, there'll be trash, there'll be energy.
Yeah, and they're not gonna you stay out there 3 days and see what's happening. Those overnighters, you're gonna slip away. But if you stay that 3rd night, especially if you go out there in a torn up tarp with dirty clothes and no food or a little bit of food,
Like homeless people have to do.
yeah, like a homeless person, these things are really going to come in and get you. But if you have a
You got a crowd with you, so
crowd, a camping gear where you look like people would look for you, but if you look like a person where no one's going to care
nobody
if you
cares.
go
Isolated.
you're trying to hide out there, they're going to come get you. No problem.
For this amazing event, I had gone up for a hike on top of the mountain behind camp with part of the group for the sunset. And the plan was when I came back down, I was going to grab my chair and go join the other group at this lower campsite where we were all going to sit in a circle facing outward and look for eye shine.
Dusk is one of the most dangerous times.
Is she about to go by herself somewhere?
Of course.
Oh, of course, because, oh my goodness, come on, they're surrounding you. They've already moved in.
There's some with the first group. There's some with the second group. There's some at the tent.
There's some by your car
some,
waiting for you to come back.
Tracking her.
They're tracking her. They're waiting for the ones that are coming back to the car.
So I went up to the top of the hill with the first group, and there was some sparkling in the trees that we noticed, but other than that, it was pretty quiet up there. I came back down, and by that time it was dark. I grabbed my chair and I went down to this lower campsite where we had previously said we were going to gather, and nobody was there. And
oh, all alone.
All alone in the dark.
Oh, some of these
in the
people.
Dark at the campsite. In the dark, when you trust and believe that when you leave your campsite, they're moving in and checking it out.
Yep. They know you're going to be there.
They know you're going to come back to your campsite. They know you're going to come back to your car.
They're already setting up, waiting for you.
And with big groups too, even if they don't attack someone, they're still learning to mimic from the people, and they'll use that to bring harm to others.
And some will make them nervous and scared and feed off of that energy.
I thought, well, you know.
Wait a minute. First of all, she just said she thought. And she shouldn't do that.
This lower campsite where we had previously said we were going to gather, and nobody was there. And I thought, well, you know, I could hear everybody else farther down the road, and I thought, well, either they're coming back here or they've been here, but I've already done the hike up the mountain and back. I've got my chair, and I'm just going to sit here by myself and see what happens.
See what happens.
See what happens. What happened? Hold on, I gotta get a drink.
I don't know. Got me on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm. Somebody throw a rock at her or eye shine because they're looking directly at you.
So I sat there in the darkness for maybe 5 minutes when just below me there was something large and very fast just ran through the bushes.
Blur. Darker than dark.
We even say that.
Blacker than
Or
black.
did we already say that?
I don't think so in appearances.
Yeah. Appearance is 51.
Wow, you remember that? That's what you do. You remember things. Yes, okay.
What page is that?
51.
51.
There's a lot here, so we're gonna
Hold on.
go back. Oh, the predator Bigfoots and hybrids have a look like a laying dog or a laying dog with a beak, like the heat waves off a hot highway, a crystallized or watery haze. In today's terminology, people would say pixels or pixelations or pixies. From their movements in history, they were and still are called night flyers in the trees, shadows or blurs because of their speed or quick movements. That's the first paragraph.
Blurs.
Blur.
That's in the book under appearances, page 51. In the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path book.
So I sat there in the darkness for maybe 5 minutes when just below me there was something large and very fast just ran through the bushes. I couldn't see anything. I could hear it. And then within 2 or 3 minutes, I noticed that my entire side, from my leg, my side, my face, my arm, everything was just tingling. And I thought,
Oh, hold on.
All right. What page is this one on?
West Side Killers.
No.
I know this one.
Also on.
She said her left side.
Oh, good catch. But also the body's natural warning signs.
Okay. We'll do this one first. West Side Killers.
Well, let's do the natural body's warning sign first.
Okay.
And then we're going to move to the West Side Killers. And we're going to tell you what pages those are on in the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. And this woman does need this book, as many people do, because all these questions that she has are in the book. The answers are in the book.
I'm looking.
Here
Here it is. I found it. Body's natural warning signs, page 114. Our body has natural offensive abilities and defensive warning signs for protection that informs us that a translucent predator Bigfoot or predator Bigfoot hybrid is encroaching. Our bodies will inform us of where to locate the unseen translucent predator. Our bodies are filled with senses and feelings. We use these feelings to know which direction the translucent predators are. If the hair on the back of the neck stands up, the predators are behind a person. If the goosebumps show up on the right arm, the translucent predator is on the right side, and vice versa. If the goosebumps form on the left side, the translucent predator is on the left side of a person. The feeling of wind that is not the wind will give the direction of the predator, and a shiver or negative chills will inform us of the predator's presence. If your body tingles uncomfortably all over, you are surrounded. Your body and spirit body are warning you that danger is near. Learn to interpret fear as a call to prepare for attack. To discourage the translucent predators, whichever arm forms goose pimples, look in that direction and face your body towards the unseen predator. Always carry a camera or weapon with you to discourage all predators from attack. When these feelings arise, scan your area with a camera and slowly pan. Now slowly go back, but stop for 2 seconds and snap a photo. The predators will stay still, hoping not to expose themselves or their troop. They have a fear of being exposed. And then on West Side Killers, because she was talking about it was on her left side.
Yeah, it was on her west side, or left side, and that's where the tingling happens. In the Predator Bigfoot and Spiritual Warrior's Path book on page 76 under the chapter titled West Side Killers.
It says the West Side Killers get their name from their angle of attack. Our eyes have different duties and have to be trained separately as well as together. The right eye is for catching glimpses, shadows, blurs, and quick movement. The left eye is for focusing on an object and uses the memory to outline objects until they are recognizable. The left eye's peripheral vision does not see as far back and to the side as the right eye, making the left side or left eye the most vulnerable for attack. The left side is also called the west side or death side or blind side. This is where the term to be blindsided comes from. The hunting predator Bigfoots and predator Bigfoot hybrids will try to merge with the west side or death side as they know we cannot catch quick movements from the left side. To train the left eye to focus more quickly, hold your hand over your right eye and scan an area. Practice to focus more quickly from object to object. When you're in the forest and want to zoom in on something, close your right eye and make a small peeking circle with your left hand curled like a scope and look through the tiny hole created by your curled fingers while telling your body see or see it. Over time, you will notice that you can see further and focus faster with that eye. To train the right eye, place your hand over your left eye and practice looking for and catching any movement as far back and to the right as possible. Many of these predators will only be seen through peripheral vision. And maybe you also say, thank God that he designed our bodies so that we get these bodies' natural warning signs.
And the eyes too, they got to be trained separate, but to work together. And if you get two fingers or two of your pointer fingers, put them by your ears on both sides and move them slowly to the front, you're going to notice that your right eye will see that right finger before the left will.
I noticed that my entire side, from my leg, my side, my face, my arm, everything was just tingling. And I thought, how odd is this?
Left
and,
side.
That's
so while I'm examining myself, I look up and about 30 feet off to my left in the moonlight or starlight, because there was no moon, there was just this massive, it was like a lump. There was no head. I'm thinking that it was somebody that was leaned over like this, because it was just this massive shoulders, maybe this big, rocking back and forth. And I sat there and I was so new at this, I didn't even know what to do. I just kind of sat there going, well, this is a lovely spot. Gee, my camera died. Huh. Well, yep, you're still there.
The energy of
you
her
know,
camera.
yep, they're all still down there. And here we sit. I was at a loss as to what to say. And after about 5 minutes, I noticed that the tingling had stopped, and I looked and he was gone.
Or you couldn't see him.
Oh my goodness.
And
she
say
needs
it,
this
say
book.
it. You were scared.
You were
know you were scared.
Petrified. Your body, your mind
couldn't move. She decided to just sit there. She couldn't move.
She could. She was thinking, 1, 2, 6.
Shelly.
Birds in the tree is blue and the sky is green.
Hopefully
and
she
purple.
was praying.
And, yeah, instead of praying, she should have been doing that. But if she had this book, as soon as it started tingling, she should have got up and left.
She wouldn't have even put herself in the position.
She wouldn't even been there.
And forth between those groups.
She wouldn't have left that
dark.
Group.
She would have stayed with the people.
She wouldn't even been in that group that was going up in an occupied active area.
Well, it's getting dark. Yeah.
She would have been like, no, thank you. Well, if you make it back,
maybe she would. Maybe she would read the book and go bah humbug. But
you know, if I was her and I had this book, I would say no, and none of y'all are going. Look at this book. Let's read through it first. And if you still want to go,
I can't help but notice War Chief's comment. He says there was a little wet spot on that chair.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there was a big wet spot on that chair.
First time.
And even in the book, when we talked about the natural body's warning signs, page 114, and then the West Side Killers, I want to say that was 50. No, that might have been 114. West Side Killers.
76.
Page 76. The answers are already in the book, and she doesn't know what's going on. And even the tingling left. So this thing
And
is
there,
probably leaving because those other campers are coming
and
in.
look at her expression, how tightly those lips are compressed, and she knows she's not giving all of the information up. She
She's
knows
not
she's
saying
scared.
exactly what happened
Yeah.
there. She's like, now this is,
I was just calmly sitting there,
I was
and I didn't
just,
think
you
anything
know,
about sitting in the dark and
and
seeing a
they're so-
huge mass
this is
that
just a
now
big,
I
huge
couldn't
mass.
locate.
And you know, they're really good creatures that would sneak up on you and
Loving family.
so this woman is,
It was just curious.
she's not saying this thing. I was petrified.
I couldn't move.
Couldn't move. I didn't want to move.
Please
I
don't
looked
notice
over.
Me. Please don't notice me.
Please don't notice
my
me.
camera's drained.
There's
It's sucking
no
the
one's
energy out of
around.
me and my camera.
And these things have surrounded me because they
She's going, how
already,
many more are there?
they are already surrounded that area because they know you're coming back.
Yeah.
My goodness, people, read these books. What? We didn't make these books just to make them. We made them to save your life. And
Keep going.
oh my goodness.
We could gripe at her all night.
It just helps these things.
I was at a loss as to what to say, and after about 5 minutes, I
She's
noticed that the
speechless.
tingling had stopped, and I looked, and he was gone. So
How'd you know it was a he?
a
And
friend
so
that
while
was there
that
with me
tingling
told
was
me
happening,
that
it's
when people,
sucking energy from you.
Mm-hmm.
he was gone. So that's
With a big
A friend
gulp. Do you see that big gulp?
No.
okay. And after about 5 minutes, I noticed that the tingling had stopped, and I looked, and he was gone. So that's
That was a gulp too.
Yeah.
But listen to what she says now.
a friend that was there with me told me that when people get zapped, what had happened to me was a sizzle. It was very mild. You know, I think there's a
Yeah, she
a
looked
strong
like she didn't
connection
believe that.
between the cloaking and the orbs, and you know, there's so much going on that we're only just breaking the surface of.
Won't you read the book? Sorry.
Now we're only just breaking the surface. Keep going, keep going. This is about the time he taps out.
Yeah. Has it been 15 minutes?
It's about the time he gets so aggravated.
About
that it's
15 minutes, about all I
just
could
can't
do.
take it anymore.
So it is 17 minutes and 39 seconds. I went further.
Your tolerance is
It's
growing.
growing. It's growing. Usually about 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm out. These people are driving. Oh my goodness. Read the book. Something.
Here, you know, all we're having is these experiences, but we don't know how it happens or how they do it, or the cop.
Read the book. Yes, we do.
You don't.
And yeah, you don't. And your group doesn't. Because y'all are probably still going out there.
Because of it, you know, there's a lot of UFO reports that come with these Sasquatch experiences.
Oh, you mean demon vehicles?
A lot of the.
Yeah, you mean the ones with the
Demon
tracker
technology?
collars? They're being tracked and being dropped off by military.
Yeah,
And
that too.
geez.
Orbs that we've seen and experienced around camp, they're always associated.
Always associated with the Bigfoot. I bet she says it.
And the orbs.
And the orbs. Oh, woman, you
runs
got to
together.
find our channel somehow and learn.
A lot of the orbs that we've seen and experienced around camp, they're always associated with the Sasquatch.
Yes, yes, they are. They are. They eat too.
Why is that?
Why is that? Why are the crows associated? Why is the owl or even the mimic owl or the coyote or the mimic coyotes? Oh, people, where do y'all come? Where y'all? This channel needs to be shared everywhere because there's so many people.
But if they try to share it, it gets blocked immediately, like links.
Oh.
You can't share YouTube links in the comments of
Oh.
anywhere.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an automatic thing.
So people are I hate to say it, but a lot of people are on their own,
Yeah.
and that's a bad place to be on your own out there trying to figure this out. Whenever there's books written on it, I mean, exactly what your questions are. It's very dangerous for them to proceed with them trying to find out, or them listening to those people at those conferences.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People at the conferences.
What the conference is, don't listen to those people. They don't
People
know.
in 95% of the Bigfoot group.
People in 95% of the Bigfoot group, they don't know, and they give the wrong advice, or they'll give their opinion on something they don't know about.
Yeah, they'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff and then wrap it up with, but I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think? If they say, what do you think? Close the door. Close the door. Start the car and drive away.
You do a little bit more. We just got a few more minutes.
Oh, God.
You can do it. You can do it.
We had one where it was most of the group had gone out to watch the sunset while we were in the blues. And after the sun went down, they turned around and went, "Oh, look, there's a Sasquatch on the
Sunset again.
I know everything. Oh my! I wish they would read this. The
Where-
whole group.
Where is it? The Sasquatch is on the what?
We're in the blues." And after the sun went down, they turned around and went, "Oh, look, there's a Sasquatch on the hill." And he walked across the hill, and then he turned around and walked back,
He's
just in
skyline.
case not everybody had a good look at him.
That was a
And
decoy.
later,
That was a decoy. They wanted you to follow it.
Yeah, it
They're not
showed
going to
itself.
skyline like that on purpose. I mean, accidentally. Yeah.
No. And what is she gonna do?
that night, we're sitting around the fire, and there was maybe 4 or 5 of us deep in conversation.
Well, they were watching it.
And there's a
Others
stick
were
break,
moving in.
which made us pause our conversation. And then there's another stick break over here, which made us all turn and look this way. Well, when we all turned and looked this way, then we discovered there's a big orb just floating through the trees right there.
How weird.
And we watched him for several minutes. He kind of stopped right behind the trees. You could still tell he was there, but it was almost like he was hiding. You know, we had time to go, what's he going to do? And then he finally came out of the trees, and he was gone. He just straight
She's
up where the
calling
spring
orb a
was.
he.
And once again, that's deliberate. I mean, if not for
Yeah.
the stick breaks pausing our conversation and another stick break saying turn and look this way.
Oh my goodness, these people. They're too dangerous.
Okay, we're almost to 9:57. But anyway, you can find that on Flash of Beauty, Bigfoot, Barb, Shupe,
Dupe-A-Dupe.
Dupe-A-Dupe.
Yeah, let me.
And we'll run through the.
That's enough of Barb.
That's enough of you, Barb.
That's enough of you, Barb. Quit giving wrong information. Endangering
Quit
people.
believing your own BS. We're gonna. Oh, you can. I'll get this light.
I got it.
That's probably enough, huh? The later it gets, the less I want the bright lights. Okay.
All right, let's catch up real fast. Oh, let me turn this a bit. Is that good?
Where we at?
How about that? There we go. That's a little better. That's where Jazzy was going to sleep, and there's the Axe school bus. There we
War
go.
Chief says they're watching their pantry.
Yep, they sure are.
Wild Man says, friend good, yum yum, and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
War Chief says they're thinking, where's my long pig? That's right. And he says long pig is another name for human.
Yep.
Tracker 17 says beasts of the field are positioning themselves close to human habitation, not because they are our friends, but they but their takeout stores will be closer when the time is right. Yep.
You're right. It's like that movie Independence Day, when all those ships were lining over the major cities to take them out first. And one guy figured it out, which they should have, the military should have figured that out. They said they're positioning themselves for attack.
Yep. Tracker 17 says, yes, War Chief, sadly. Graybeard says, yes, 17, they are here for the bloody feast when the restrainer is lifted.
Yep.
War Chief says, you've opened your threshold for them, dummy.
Mm-hmm. They sure did.
Shadow Tracker J says, I'm 100% sure she is all wrong.
She is. She is.
War Chief says, lady, you've been oh so marked for a taco salad. Oh, where'd I miss that one? Tracker 17 says, yeah, Graybeard, all we can do is warn them, but they have to listen too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where War Chief said, lady, you've marked yourself for a taco salad. Oh,
Man, taco salad sounds good right now.
I know. Everything does in your own diet.
Tracker 17 says, pretty quiet except for all the translucents, right?
Yeah, and the blurs and the Bigfoots and
The gigantic mass.
yeah,
War Chief Tracker C says, don't go near Barb. She's marked.
yeah, they all are.
Oh, she's marked herself on purpose. Tracker
Mhm.
17 says, see what happens. Crunch, yum, yum.
Yeah.
Judy Wheeler says, blurs. Because
Mhm.
she's read about them in the book. War
Yeah.
Chief says, left side is a death side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tracker 17 says, tingling energy body alert. Yes.
Yeah.
17 says, blind side equals left side. Good.
Good.
Graybeard says, West Side Killers, page 76. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Judy Wheeler says, yes, yes, yes. Graybeard says, dirt, dirt, dirt. War Chief says, there was a little wet spot on that chair.
Yeah, there was. You know there was.
Graybeard's laughing.
And she didn't say it.
Judy's laughing. Tracker 17's laughing. So Shadow Tracker 1J. Tracker Lorna says, oh my, oh my. War Chief says, read the book and maybe we won't find a wet spot on your chair. That's right. Tracker 17 says, LOL at War Chief Tracker C. He says, I ain't hearing no bells. Have we retired the bell? No, sometimes we just get so caught up we forget. And he says, there it is. Judy says, she's calling the orb a he. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
War Chief says, you barbed me, dang it. And Tracker 17 says, far out, so off track, I can scarcely believe it.
Oh, there's
All
so
caught
many
up.
people out there who will listen to that person and think that, oh, hey, I can have an interaction like that. And
What did you feed it? What did you feed them?
So you went out there in the dark by yourself and sat by yourself.
You had
Maybe
two
we
groups
should
of people
try
you
that.
could have stayed safe with.
But
Not only that, there's even just weird people that can wander the woods, and you just don't put yourself in situations like that.
I know Shadow Tracker J sent us a video one time, and she said she'd do a little bit more research on it, but she was saying that I didn't know who the guy was, but it was a female saying he said for us girls to go out by ourselves and that we would probably get more interaction.
Yeah.
But I said, is there any more videos? I hope there's more
Hope them
videos.
girls survive.
If they did that. But we didn't get back on if that who the guy was who told women
like
to
Todd
go out
Standing.
there. Oh my goodness, that guy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you get any group that encourages you just to do dumb things, don't hang out. If they tell you anything other than what we're telling you, don't go out with them. Don't track with them.
Don't track with them.
That's pretty much what we're down to.
Close that door, start the car, put it in drive.
See you later.
See you later.
We'll go ahead and say a prayer and close. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. Father, we thank you so much that you have taught us what you have, that there are so many wonderful people here that are willing to listen and learn and share their own experiences and their own knowledge. Thank you, Lord. Open Barb's ears, open her eyes, let her, to you and to what the truth is of what these things are. She can see them, but she's not understanding. and neither are the people that she's leading into danger. The people that they're bringing out there to gift and to take into these places. Lord, watch over them. Watch over them before it's too late, Lord. We pray for all of them. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Yeshua. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Everyone have a great night.
Almost always seem like such nice people too.
Yeah, every one of them. And that's what
Nature lovers. They love people. They love being around people.
and if you watch the rest of this, which I probably won't, but she may even get to the point where, you know, you can communicate with them, you can have a good time with them, you can play beach ball, hockey with them, or whatever. And she may say some are good, some are bad, because of that mind speak and that pattern to say that, well, they're not all bad. Some of them are just this way and that way. But no.
I think the way she's going, she'll say they're all good.
Probably so. That, you know, and just being there, she was completely scared.
And didn't even say it. Didn't even let people know that was a scary experience.
And why would you say that? And I haven't watched the rest of this, but more so often that these people say that they're harmless or that they're curious or things like that, which they're not.
If it was a human being and they left you with a fear, or if they were around, all your tingles went up.
Yeah.
And they made you feel like that, you wouldn't want anything to do with them.
And
duh.
The body was setting off alarms saying there is a predator right there. And she even turned and looked right there because she's like, it just tingled all over my left side. Yeah, your body's saying. She didn't
say or look like it was a good feeling tingle.
And it's saying, let's get out of here. What are you doing? Why am I here?
And even, what have you gotten me into?
What have you gotten me into, Barb? Why do you get me into these things, Barb? I said no. I said I want to stay with the group. I want to stay at home.
Trust your brother, who was terrified at the thought of them.
Oh my goodness.
You need to listen to your brother.
So everybody have a great night. Yeah. We wish you well. God bless you. We will see you again very soon.
And thank you, everyone that sent in support, and thank you for the prayers.
Yeah. Thank you for the support that you sent. Thank you, everyone who
for teaching others what you learn here.
And candidates, don't forget, we need those photos in of the bridges by as early as you can get them to.
So we have time to.
So we need loaded. Yeah, we need to look at them too. But that's your homework, and we need that in by tomorrow. So candidates, if you haven't got it in, some of you have already sent some in. We appreciate that you're doing your homework and you're on the job. But if you haven't,
would this be okay if they haven't found one?
No.
I was going to say to draw one to show that they know what one looks like. No,
we need one. We need you to find one.
And they're everywhere.
And they're easy to find. That's the thing. It's easy to find.
Yeah. Jazzy found them right away.
Our 10-year-old tracker found them. Went out and did the homework. So
taught her dad.
Get your homework in. Taught her dad. And said, this is what we're looking for. Took her dad with her. And she said, there it is. And her dad walked down there with her, and they got a good picture and some prints in that area.
Even on a drive, if you
you
cross over any
waterways,
body of water, you're going to see one.
You're going to find it, and that's what we need. And try not to do it, right before class. So we want to look at it so we can see what we want to show you is there.
We don't want you trying to film it while you're driving.
Yeah.
But if you can, stop in a safe place.
Yeah.
Take a quick picture.
And thank you, Jody, for sending that bridge in. We're going to be using that tomorrow also. And Shadow Tracker 888, if you have that picture also of the bridge that you sent in for the class, we could use that one too.
And we also talk about those in the Monster Spotters book.
Yeah, because that the one with 888 had a Bigfoot on the other side, right where it was supposed to be.
Hold on real quick. For
Really for?
bridges. Real quick in the book, for those who don't know and aren't in the class or haven't gotten the book yet, bridges, embankments, and ravines. When we talk about bridges,
Page 138.
when we talk about bridges being particularly dangerous, we are referring to two different kinds. The first type are man-made constructs, which often hide predators underneath and where the homeless or runaways often go to find shelter. What the unfortunate homeless and runaways find under the man-made bridges are hungry, vicious predator Bigfoots and predator Bigfoot hybrids. The old stories about the trolls under the bridge were based in truth. The second type of bridge, which is what we want the photo of, we caution people to be very wary of, are logs, limbs, or pushed over trees placed across waterways or ravines. This type of bridge allows prey easy access across channels, but when it reaches the middle of the tree, they find this to be a trap with predators waiting on one or both ends. A predator bridge can also be seen in movies where people cross large ravines. Humans will also attempt to cross over these bridges and are just as vulnerable, if not more so. If unable to scout thoroughly before crossing, find an alternate route. With predator Bigfoots on both ends of the bridge, prey will fall or jump into the ravine, which is another trap with predator Bigfoots waiting for prey to drop from the bridge traps. And then there's a lot more to that chapter. It can be large and also small for small prey. So
let me just check this. The elastic machinery coming
he
to the
come
room?
rolling in.
Yeah, he did.
You have to go back and watch it. It's okay. Oh yeah, get better.
And also
What you say? She tingled and tinkled.
she did. You know
I
she
think
did.
that
You
was
know
more
she
cheap.
did.
I think that was more cheap.
But she didn't even say bring that part up, but you know she did. All right, so everyone have a great night, and we're gonna see the candidates tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Get those photos in because we need to see them and show you exactly what we're looking for in this situation. So everybody have a great night.
And we'll show the rest of the comments as the closing music goes.
Yeah, the comments will come up in just a moment.
The outro.
So
Good night,
who
warriors.
was Cosmic
Wild Man.
that coyote group that you're talking about, it's in this outro. So if you do watch it, make sure you don't have any pets around.
They don't like it.
They don't like it, and they do act up around. They will.
I don't like it.
Yeah, we was there. All right, so everyone have a great night, warriors. We'll see you again very soon.
Good night. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.
Are we moving?
So beautiful. Look at this.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer.